All right, hello everybody. Here we are back in Starfield with the Cyberneticist. So this build is pretty much complete. In fact, I only have about 5 or 6 more minutes left to edit in the video for the full build guide. So look forward to that maybe this week, I think, if I can get the thumbnail and everything worked out correctly. Looking forward to finally putting a pin in that one and getting that out for everybody to consume. Let's see. So what are we going to be doing today? Well, since the build is pretty much done, we can do some main storyline stuff. We're getting ready to talk to Vladimir here about, you know, where to build this armillary and things like that so that people don't get killed. But I think since, you know, the build is done, I think I just want to kind of do some legendary hunting, you know? And in my experience, the best and most fun way to do that is just by doing high-level bounties. So, we'll stop by the spaceport on our way out here. We're on New Jemison, or New Atlantis on Jemison. Operative armor indeed. We do some sniping from far distances here and there, even though we're not spec'd into stealth at all. It's still a pretty strong way to get combat going if you can get the drop on your enemies. At least to get a few hot shots, a few cheap shots in here and there. Yeah, so let's, you know, get going. We have Hadrian with us. She becomes available as a follower after you finish the UC Vanguard questline. She's pretty good. She's better than a generic follower. She has some things to say about, you know, herself and her past, and she makes some comments here and there when you pass certain points of interest and things like that. So yeah, I think we're just going to head to the spaceport on our way out. We're gonna grab as many bounties as we can. Space combat in this game is still terribly unbalanced. They've only made it harder. Excuse me, I am coughing a lot today. Not sick, just got some gunk in the lungs, you know. So sorry in advance for coughing in your ears, I suppose. We'll do some third-person walking around. We'll enjoy New Atlantis while we can. We've helped what's his name, the scientist, deal with the situation with the trees. Trees were getting too horny. They needed to mate, so they started vibrating a whole bunch. We had to go find a lovely lady tree for these randy male trees to you know, go for. That's my sophomoric rundown of how that questline went. Hey, there's Barrett. Just walking around New Atlantis. How's it going, Barrett? He's part of my crew, and we're going to be leaving soon, so he's not getting too comfortable. Alrighty then. Didn't expect to see him here. Let's see. Have they added actual city maps yet? Not yet. So there are a couple of big things that they've teased that have not come out yet.
Funny stuff. Can't really remember it.
All right. Let's see. There are a few things that they've teased that they haven't quite released yet. So for the updates, they've been working on performance, which they've been doing a great job of. You know, you gotta give credit where credit is due. Yeah, they probably should have had this stuff figured out at launch, but we are where we are. And the game is running great. It's looking great. We got DLSS going. We've got DLSS 3 frame gen going. And here in the middle of New Atlantis, I'm getting, you know, 131 frames per second. Looks great. Feels great. Good stuff. So now that that stuff is done, I'm hoping they're going to be adding the quality of life stuff, like the city maps, which, you know, we got this fairly useless thing here. And then if we want to go out further than that, we just have the planet maps. So nothing terribly useful as far as maps go unless you want to fast travel yet, but they have sort of teased, you know, actual city maps. So I would imagine that's coming soon. Let's see, the other thing that they have teased, or not teased, but they've said that they are fixing and apparently is going to be coming in the next update, is this look left bug. This is annoying as hell if you play third person or just do you know, any kind of third person exploration. You can fix it by swinging the camera around and having the guy's head tracking reset. The thing is with this game is he has head tracking, but wherever you point the camera. Unless you're pointing the camera at him, then he kind of just faces straight forward. The way that I can get this to proc every single time is by sprinting and jumping and landing while I'm sprinting. Yep. Now it's making a liar out of me. Oh yeah, there we go. Not every time, but most times. He'll look completely left, and it'll get stuck like that until you decide to swing the camera back around and reset head tracking. That's one that everybody's been complaining about for a long time. Apparently that's coming in the next patch. What other things have they teased? They've teased better ways to get around, so I'm not sure what that means. If that means just unlocking boost packs to becoming jetpacks, I'm all in for that. If that means like actual vehicles and stuff like that. I mean, this game is a fast travel game, right? Hey, Mr. Poemer, I am doing great. Hope you're doing well. Look left bug is annoying, yeah. And it's sad because I think that the third person camera in this game is actually really good. The placement's great. This is kind of like how I place a custom camera in my Skyrim game. So this is how I'm used to playing. If you play something like God of War or the other AAA third person action games from Sony, this is about where they put the camera. They've done a lot of research on what works best. You want to be able to see your character in action, because they have some really cool looking characters. You want to, especially like for customizable characters, you want to be able to see them in action, right? But you don't want to be so removed from the action that like time sensitive stuff like timed blocking and parries and stuff is harder to pick up the enemy's animations. And also I think it just works better for shooting if you're closer in, especially with aim down sights and things like that.
I really love this place. Couldn't imagine
just to get a little tighter angle on what you're shooting at, right? So they've done a good job at putting the camera in the right place, I think. Let's see. Destroy the Crimson Fleet Banshee? Yeah, okay, we'll do some space combat. We might have to turn the difficulty down a little bit. We are 106. We're at level 106 on very hard and new game plus 10. So this gets really rough. I'm not gonna do the supply runs. Those are kind of dry for a stream. I don't mind doing them off stream. You know, just for some Zen gaming. You get to explore a planet. You get to, you know, see the weather, the landscape, and maybe do some screen archery. But it's not, in my opinion, not very compelling. Not very compelling action for a live stream, you know.
The petition doesn't say.
Still trying to figure out how to worship the old ways and good ways to do it in Skyrim. Okay, well, I do have a video guide on it on my channel. If you just go to my videos section, you go to my YouTube channel and go to the video section. I think it was the last video that I uploaded was about the old ways. It'll tell you exactly how to unlock it. It'll tell you good ways to use it, how to worship, and you know how to switch your animal totems and stuff like that. It's a pretty quick video too. I think it's only like 6 or 7 minutes if I remember correctly. Basically, you got to go to that ruined shrine in Labyrinthian, get the wooden mask and put that on, and that'll show you the old ways shrine right there, where you can get the shrine blessing and actually pick it up as a religion.
Hello.
It's good stuff.
I have things for you.
Uh-oh. Everybody's got stuff for me. Oh, glad to see that Barrett made it back to the ship in one piece. How am I doing on encumbrance here? 120. It looks like I have some stuff that I can drop off. Put some stuff in the cargo hold. Maybe I should do a tour of the ship here too. So this is the Frontier, but it doesn't really look like the Frontier. It's still all white like the Frontier was. And it still has the same cockpit as the Frontier, but pretty much everything else has changed. You know, actually the loading bay might be the same too. Yeah, so this is a Class C ship. It's got all the best parts on it, including the engines. There's only 4 of these. I don't remember what the engines were called, but they're the best ones. They unlock after you do Walter Stroud's quest line for the artifact in Neon. You can put up to 6 of them on your ship if you have the reactor power for them, and that increases maneuverability. But this is still a pretty small ship for a Class C ship, so maneuverability is always capped out, even with the 5 engines. And then I have the smaller engine on there just to add a little top end speed to it, because Class C ships and Class C engines are slow, even though they do increase maneuverability for heavier ships. We got particle beam weapons on either side here, the big boxy looking guys on either side. Those are particle beam weapons. We have a missile launcher. Actually, the big boxy looking guys might be the missile launchers. Or that be? I don't remember. I don't remember. It's been a long time since I built this ship up. I need to. It's probably due for a tune-up. Anyway, I got missiles. I got particle beam weapons. The highest level I could find on each one of those. The sort of cowled. Oops, dagger ship. I don't know where that guy came from. The parts on the back of the wing that kind of curve up in the back, these are actually contraband smuggling cargo units. So I can put contraband in here, and there's a high chance that I'll be able to get through customs with some contraband in there, just in case we wanna move some illicit materials. Because my current character worshiped both the old ways and later switched to Meridia due to him joining Meridia's order. Oh, nice. Yeah, it's always fun to switch. What's the other ships you have look like? Well, I haven't done much work on the other ones. Okay, we just have the regular Guardian that you get for New Game Plus runs. I have the Razor Leaf, even though I haven't done anything to it. This is the one you get for the Mantis quest line. I have the Star Eagle, which is a great Class A ship on its own. It's not actually gonna compete too much with the Guardian in terms of best Class A ship that you can get, but you can definitely craft this one up, build this one up to be even better than the Guardian. The Kepler, this is the one that you get for that quest line where you have to help build a ship for, I think, Trident or something. Or no, this is the Stroud Industries one. Yeah, this is a monstrosity. I went and did everybody's sort of side quests for the project focus group that you were supposed to do to create this new ship, and it turned out with just this hodgepodge of. It's a very usable ship that appeals to a wide audience, but it just looks like a kindergartner built it. It's kind of like the Homer, the car that Homer designed for his brother. That was running that big car company that put him completely out of business. UC Prison Shuttle. I think I just picked this up as on a planet somewhere. And then the dagger, I don't know where this one came from either, to be honest. Maybe somewhere in the Crimson Fleet quest line. I don't know.
Want this.
So this is the only one I've worked on. I pooled all my resources into this one, and it's pretty good. It's viable at high difficulty levels. It moves around really well. It's got good damage output. Just on New Game Plus 10, very hard at the high level that I'm on. Yeah, level 106. Where does it show my level? Yeah. Just made Cyberneticist level 106. Enemies are very tough, and if I have to fight, 3 or 4 level 80 ships, then it just tears through my shield and my hull with all that focused fire before I even have a chance to down anything. It's rough. All right, so this is the bottom level of the ship here. This is kind of where the loading bay is, right underneath here, and then from here you can just climb up the ladder 2 levels and you get right into the cockpit.
Faster than the speed of light, and none of that grav tech cheating.
And then here's the pharmaceutical lab. This is sort of my science type lab, where you get access to a research terminal right over here. Pretty much have all the research projects done that I'm able to get to right now. I think there might be a couple in, outpost development that I need to unlock the skill points for in those skills. Once I start doing outpost development, which is another thing I have yet to dive into. Pharmaceuticals lab for these kick-ass chems that I've been using. If you don't use chems or pharmaceuticals in this game, you're missing out. It helps a lot at New Game Plus 10 at high difficulty levels. The supermassive black heart takes a lot of components, a lot of rare components to make, but look at these stats on here. 500% power recovery. Basically, you can rapid fire Starborn abilities while this is active. Slows time for 50% for 10 seconds, so basically that makes this active for 20 seconds and you get a slow time dilation effect to it, which is good. Plus 50% damage. You get another half of your damage on top of the damage you're already doing, which is incredible. And then 75% movement speed, so you're zipping around like a madman this whole time. Good thing you have the time dilation to help you control your character. I'll show off some of that. It's good stuff. I believe that one also does damage protection too? Maybe not. Thought it did. No, maybe it doesn't. Interesting. Well, you don't really need it. Once you get the high level gear, once you get the high level spacesuits, where are my spacesuits? Once you get the high level spacesuits, you start capping out your armor, craft these things up. You will get a pretty good damage resistance numbers here. So I'm doing 455 damage resistance for physical, 419 for EM, and 419 for energy. There's probably, I got some wiggle room there, but I'm very much at the top end of damage resistance numbers. But then once you pop reactive barrier or reactive shield, then that actually takes you way higher. It almost doubles everything, I think. Whoops. Yeah, 805, 769, 769 for damage resistance, and you can take a bunch of focused fire from a lot of high-level enemies at that point, and you'll barely feel it. So I spam reactive shield a ton. Also have a character that worships both Sheogarrick and Jiggalag, which is pretty hard to do because he has split personalities. Yeah, at the same time, I think that would be next to impossible. Actually, with Winter Sun, I think that would be impossible unless you're just role-playing it. But going from one to the other, definitely a challenge. So what do those characters have to do with worshipping the old gods? I'm confused. Do I bring those up that worship other gods or whatever? I'm confused. Oh, I'm sure Mr. Poemer here is just here for the conversation, trying to get some help with his Skyrim guide, or with his Skyrim playthrough. That's fine. Kind of a non sequitur. Doesn't bother me much. And then here's the engineering bay. So here we have weapon workbench. We have all the crafting stuff here. So spaceship, spacesuit, industrial workbench, all the good stuff. This is where the magic happens to make my weapons and armor more effective. And of course, we got some port windows here so that we can see the views. Get some pretty good views out here from space, especially if you get the ship to point in the right direction. And then here is the dock. So when we dock other ships, it's right here. It's kind of the only one that the best place that I could find that was out of the way. Kind of weird to have to walk through your science lab just to get to another ship, but it is what it is. And then
you keep installing new cool things in your ship. It's like Christmas every day.
I know, it's cool, huh? This is kind of a throwaway level. This was just to get the cockpit up above the two forward wings of the ship, because in cockpit view, the cockpit was down below where there's two like opposing fuselage pieces right underneath the cockpit, and that was really killing visibility because of the two sort of split fuselage that you have on either side. Made it really hard to see where I was going or who I was trying to shoot. So this was basically just to get the cockpit up above the rest of the body of the ship for visibility purposes. But I could upgrade these to habs, like livable like units with like beds and things like that to increase my crew, which I'll probably do soon. Because crew makes you stronger in space combat if you can get the right crew members that give you the right buffs. But yeah, these are just kind of storage bays and things like that. It's not very functional from a gameplay perspective, but I don't know, maybe pretty vital for role-playing purposes to make sure that your ship actually stays in the air. I don't know. And then we just have the cockpit. All right, so let's fly to Aquila City. We'll get some bounties there from the Freestar Collective, not the Freestar Collective, the Ranger Station. Those are where the highest level bounties are. Like the forked looks? Yeah, so this was actually based off of the Gradius ship from, or the Vic Viper from the Gradius series. I'm a fan of the old shoot-'em-up games on the NES. And that has like a split fuselage, kind of like a Snake Fang look on it. This ship is way bigger than that one. That's more of a fighter class ship. This one is kind of like, it's bigger, heavier, it's more of a cruiser style, I guess, than it is just the fighter of the other one. But yeah, this moves around pretty well. Get a nice tight spiral. Sorry if I'm making everybody sick. You get a little bit of motion sickness in this game if you're not careful. Okay, let's head to Cheyenne. We'll go to, that is in the, it's up here somewhere, I believe. Cheyenne, and then we'll go to Aquila, which is the planet, and Aquila City, which is the city. And this is where the good bounties are.
I steer clear of Freestar Collective cities in general. Too many memories.
Okay, yeah, she was involved. So Hadrian, I don't want to give away too much in the story if you haven't played through it, but she was involved in the, so let that be your spoiler alert. She was involved in the Xeno Warfare Division of the United Colonies. And their whole thing was leveraging alien wildlife, basically, and mind controlling them as weapons in the colony wars. The Freestar Collective kind of saw that as an atrocity, kind of an affront to nature and things like that. And they had an actual terrormorph division, right, where they were trying to get terrormorphs added as like a weapon to their fleet of wildlife that they were using. If you've read through all the journals on Crete, the lab in Crete where you encounter the pirates for the first time, that are trying to kill you as part of the tutorial or whatever, you can see one of their secret labs that they were using for that. Very illegal, but they were doing it anyway. And so her division was dismantled as part of the treaty between the United Colonies and the Freestar Collective here. As part of that treaty, mech warfare, mechs were also banned. So that's why you see like the mech graveyards and stuff where you see all of the bones of the mechs that people used to fight in. Not allowed to do that anymore. I'm hoping in an expansion, maybe we get to build our own mech. Okay, here's some regular general purpose. Ooh, I'm flying off the screen there for a little bit. Some general purpose bounty boards here. We're going to take some of those, and then the Freestar Rangers actually have a board of themselves. Okay, no, this is the same board that we got at the Viewport in New Atlantis. Don't need that. Can't wait for a sunset or a sunrise to kind of show off. That's another thing that they've done in these updates is really increase the lighting fidelity. And I think they've kind of done like what if you got like realistic lighting overhaul in Skyrim, they've kind of done the same thing here, where they've kind of dimmed the ambient lighting and increased the intensity of actual light sources. And it just creates this cool ambiance where it's like the light sources are actually more noticeable. Adds some mood lighting here and there.
Aren't you the one who took down the Crimson Fleet?
That's me.
Buddy and Sistef was telling me all about it. Pretty amazing stuff.
Glad that a Aquila City Security actually has a buddy in the UC Sistef. That means we're all getting along. Times of peace and all that. I like that. Yeah, so like the particle effects, you can tell the volumetric lighting on this, and they've actually done some work on the lens flare here too. Very cinematic looking. So you can tell like the dust is picking up the light from these light sources and stuff like that. It was pretty good in the base game. They've made it better in the updates. And facial shadows they've done a lot of work on. The dialogue views. It used to have like a lot of shadow striping and just splotchy shadows all over a face, but now they've really smoothed those out. They look a lot better. Outlaw gang leader, fleet captain, rescue a hostage, one riot, one ranger. Okay, I haven't done this one yet. This is a quest line. This one riot, one ranger thing. It'll take you a little deeper into a story, and I'm just trying to kill some stuff today. Trying to kill some stuff and see some loot. Speaking of killing stuff and seeing loot, I've been playing a lot of Diablo 4 lately. Finally got back into that game in a big way. Finally got a character up to level 100, and I'm exploring the end game content of it, unlocking, you know, these super rare uniques and stuff like that. Target farming uniques, which is something I haven't been able to experience before. Pretty cool. It's pretty exciting when you finally get one of the uniques that you've been looking for a long time. But I can see... Oh, Diablo 4 would be cool to stream. I wanted to do that today, but then I have some people in the last stream last week saying that they would rather see Starfield today, and those people are conspicuously absent right now. That's fine, whatever. I just need a break from Skyrim is the big thing, I think. I usually try to stream character builds that I'm working on, and this guy is basically done. I'm still playing him, like, if I'm having trouble sleeping at night or whatever, and I just want to play something. I still frequently boot up this game and just, you know, see what kind of cool legendaries and stuff that I can get. But yeah, like I said, let's see, are there any other mission boards? There's the general mission board, there's the Freestar Collective mission board. I think everything else is just a general mission board. Alright, so let's track down some of these bounties. Why was my ship at half health? Was odd. But yeah, I'll do a Diablo 4 stream at some point, maybe next week, we'll see. Yeah, I just needed a break from Skyrim. That character build is getting close to done, but for me, that was actually 2 playthroughs for that one, because I got like, you know, 60, 70 hours into the first playthrough and realized I'd rather take that guy in a different direction, which was rough. All right, What are we going for first? Let's go rescue the hostage first. That sounds like the most dire situation. Go to Alpha Andraste 1A in the Alpha Andraste system. Okay. But yeah, I would like to show off the different characters that I have and the nuances of each of the builds in Diablo 4. That would be fun. Looks like I haven't discovered this system yet, so we don't get to target the exact planet we're going for. We'll just make a general jump.
Navigational feedback checks out. We're in the right place.
Freestar Collective? Why is the Freestar Collective shooting at me? Yeah, one level 60 ship and I am just shredded already. What the hell? Did I do something? To incur a bounty? And I don't have any ship parts either. Okay, I need to reload a save back in Aquila City. None of the guards were chasing me or anything. Did I do something bad? Built a Nemesis build, Combat Archer Summoner. Oh, nice. I play him like a Demon Hunter, though, from Diablo 3. But I use the Temple Grims. It's like having pets as a hunter. Yeah, the Temple Grims are cool as hell, man. I liked the Temple Grims. It's just the Ravagors were, with the absorb health on there, they were more tanky, right? But yeah, for aesthetic purposes, the Temple Grims were cool as hell. They also helped against mages, I think. I think they, like, absorbed magicka, if I remember correctly. Aquila, here we go. I need to try to find a bunch of ship parts. I am out of ship parts. And you might think that I just have the difficulty set too high. But I assure you that's not the case. Once we start doing these bounties and I can show you what ground combat looks like, you'll see just how out of whack ground combat is compared to space combat in this game. And there are several reasons for that, I believe. Okay, let's go see if we have a bounty here. I don't think that we do, but there is a self-service Trackers Alliance board that you can pay off any bounties you have right here. There's a spell I just discovered called Wind Sprint through the Alteration skill line that lets you sprint in the air as if you were flying. Yeah, that's an Apocalypse spell, I believe. Pair that with League Step and Slow Fall. Okay, nice. Awesome way to travel around Skyrim. Yeah, I mean, I don't have a bounty. What the hell's going on here? Why are the Freestar Collective ships coming after me then? There are mods that you can use, like there are several flying mods, I think, with different patches for different wings and things like that. And I think there's also a mod that allows you to jump like the Hulk.
Suppose that's a good thing.
Those are various mods that I've seen Icarus use in his Let's Plays for Skyrim. And it kind of makes you wonder why they didn't just include a mechanic like that, or why there's not at least like a creation club creation that allows you to just fly. It seems like a pretty easy thing to do with the game mechanics. The glider mod, like from Breath of the Wild as well, yeah. And that's a mechanic that a lot of games, like the new Horizon Zero Dawn game, Forbidden West, added that, and it's basically the exact same. They ripped it right out of Breath of the Wild and put it into Horizon. Yeah, it works surprisingly well, and those spells have been around forever. They don't require SKSE unless you want an MCM to kind of tweak things with it, but makes you wonder why they just didn't put it in the base game. And I'm still keeping my fingers crossed for actual jetpacks in this game instead of, just boost packs. That'd be a lot of fun, I think. I'm looking for 8 items. Ship parts, please. Here we go. There's 6 of them. That'll help for now. Ship parts are like the first aid kits for your ship. How you repair mid-flight or mid-combat. So we're gonna need that. Let's see. The Trade Authority might have... That's another general goods. Yeah, I'm already over encumbered. You can see my oxygen gauge depleting rapidly as I'm running. Ship parts are very heavy. But they are unfortunately necessary.
Tequila City is bustling.
Got it.
I did get fire blasted out of the sky as I was sprinting from a dragon, though. Nice. I do die a lot with that character. The Twilight Sniper is what I call him, as he worships Azura. Okay, and that's based on the Nemesis build that I did. Yeah, there are a lot of different ways you can go with that. Basically, it's just, the combination of conjuration with archery and combat archery specifically. You can go a sniper route with that too. I'm a big fan of combat archery though over sneak archery in Skyrim. The sneak archery just kind of run dry for me. There are no ship parts here. Damn it. All right, well, 6 is gonna have to do us until we can get somewhere else. Now, there's a better than good chance that that same ship is not going to be there next time we jump. Okay, so here's a little piece of quality of life here that they did add on launch. Is if you're within, I think it's like 1,500 meters or something from your ship. It's a pretty generous radius. You can go into your ship menu here from the main menu. And then have your ship active in the menu, and then go to the cargo hold with, the X button or whatever your keybind is for that. And then you can actually access the cargo hold of your ship from wherever you are. And then you can put things like, resources I don't need. I can throw all those in the cargo hold, all the ship parts here. And now my encumbrance is way down. You don't actually have to go all the way to your ship and manually access your cargo hold. It's good for if you're harvesting materials on a planet somewhere and you don't want to have to hoof it all the way back to your ship to drop off some resources.
Hey there.
All right, before we go, let's check out the ship services guy. I think he's here in this little hut. Hello, Miss Wind. Welcome, welcome. Hope you are having a fantastic start to your Saturday and the weekend as a whole.
Need some work done? Okay, sure. We'll take care of any holes, broken seals, that kind of thing.
Okay, yeah, I don't know. When I took off last time, I was just at half hull for whatever reason. Ship was sparking and everything. I don't know. must have got it dinged up on the trying to park it in the spaceport here. Looks pretty impressive from the ground though, gotta say. Pretty cool ship. And there's a perk in the alteration skill line with Ordinator, as I'm sure you well know, that you can modify different spells to be able to walk on water, move faster. Yeah, Spellbind or something like that. Something like that. I know which one you're talking about, though. So, yeah, it's like you can bind it to flesh spells, and when you cast a flesh spell...
Head out again when you are. Dads? Like, a lot.
Yeah, but you can only pick the effect once, I think, right? When you take the perk. So you gotta make sure you get the right one. Okay, so Spellbind is a spell that does something similar, right? No, I know what you're talking about. I don't remember the name of it. Spell Twine, maybe? Spell Twine? Spell Twine, yeah. You probably put it in chat before I actually said it, but because of the delay that I'm doing to avoid buffering here. It came through a little bit after I actually said it. not trying to turn it into a competition or anything, but yeah, we probably hit it right about the same time there. Spell Twine, yeah. Familiar with Spell Twine. Okay, let's see what we got here. Oh, that's the name of the spell? Okay, here we go again. What the hell is going on here? At least I have some ship parts to heal me up. Oh, okay, this is the bounty. Okay, it's to dock an actual ship and save the hostage on it. Doi. Yeah, it makes all the difference in the world being able to heal when you're hurt, right? Okay, so why is ship combat so much more difficult than ground combat in this game? Welllock's Dormant Arcana. Okay, okay. It's kind of right in line with the Vancian Magic line, I think, right? Switch to a shorter range weapon. Level 92 turret. Spacers. Scum of the universe. Oh, these guys are tough. Oh, there's so many of them too. Okay. Take a second to reload my weapons here.
Think you can take me?
I'll get back to that conversation about why space combat is so much harder than
You're mine now.
ground combat in this game in just a second. Look at all those red dots. I know. This place is packed. It didn't seem like that big of a ship coming into it. Advanced mag pulses. Oh, you found me? Oh, I see ya. Ooh, that's a boss one too. That
I
means
hate to see a power like that.
legendary gear? Ah. Just a rare one. Okay. Anti-personnel Tonto. That's pretty good. If you're like a stealthy assassin type character, the anti-personnel is a good effect. The problem with the melee weapons in this game is you can't improve them like you can every other weapon. That's a bummer. I hope that's something that they add later on in an expansion or something, or an update. Let's go ahead and let the hostage wait for a little while. We've made it this far. They may as well wait another minute or two while I do all the looting. Do all the looting and tooting. Okay, so the loot that you find on enemies in these situations is all marked as stolen. So you can't take things off the ship, but you can take things off of the invaders, I guess, for lack of a better term. I'll typically take the advanced stuff and the ammo because of a value to weight ratio. The ammo is always free. Advanced stuff is always... the ammo is always free for encumbrance. There you go. How's that feel? Better?
I thought I was dead. Just plain dead.
Yeah, the facial shadows look a lot better now.
Something else.
Big improvement. Was hoping for something more than appreciation. Rare. Oh my. No, I'm kidding. Not kidding. No, I'm kidding. All in a day's work.
Rangers. And now
Nice.
I need a long shower to forget all of this. Thanks.
Why are you telling me? You want company or something? Okay. Oh yeah, we get a view of our ship from here too. Maybe not a great one. There it is. There's the Frontier Viper in our weird ass docking position. Yeah, the place that I put that docker on my ship is like having an asshole like right here. But it makes sense. Ooh, some contraband here, huh? Shipping some contraband. Naughty,
Thanks
naughty.
again.
All right. Well, happy smuggling. I have other bounties to take care of. Damn it, Hadrian, get out of the damn way. Why can't I get on the ladder from here? Finicky as hell. Okay. What's next on the agenda? What bounty's next here? I'm gonna have to unload all these advanced items, sell those off later, use that money to make ship modifications and outpost building.
Happy you're here, Captain.
Oh yeah. So I also...
We're working hard, Captain.
Good job, Cora. Proud of you. Look who I have on board here. Amelia, what are you doing? Why you got that gun out? Amelia Earhart. I found her. And she's good. She hasn't aged a day. Look at that. And she's pointing that gun right at my peen.
Hey.
Hi. Stop pointing that at my crotch. I need that. All right. Suddenly I realize why it took so long to find you is because nobody bothered to look for you. Turns out you're a terror. Adrian, what's up?
Need a hand with something? Oh, okay.
We're
If you want
buds.
to.
We can talk about personal stuff. Why are you so tall? Oh my god, you're a giant. So how long have you worked with Percival?
We met when I was 19. The UC assigned him to be the co-head of my Xeno Warfare unit. Our first day working together, he said there was no way a kid could keep up with him in the lab. I had him eating his words by the end of my first week. I was close with everyone in the Xenobio unit, but Percival and I have a special bond. Even if he is a huge pain in the ass.
All right.
Understood.
Yeah.
Bye, Captain.
Were you trying to make eye contact with my foot? Yeah. You're a cut up. All right. Let's head back to the cockpit. We need to throw some stuff into the cargo here too. And we'll head to our next bounty. Hopefully something big with lots of boss enemies and boss chests. And massive chests. Yeah, pretty cool weapon. Cool looking weapon. Be even cooler if you could actually upgrade it. Bethesda, get on that, please. Okay, destroy Crimson Fleet Captain at Arania. Okay, it's or Arani. Arani, I think is how you spell that, or pronounce that. I don't know. Who knows? Some wacky words out here in space.
Ship's released. Let's go.
Boo. You know what? I should probably do something else. My ship needs to get repaired. That happens over time, and with the skills that I have, that happens a little quicker, and with the crew that I have on board, that happens a little quicker even than that. So we should be all right. Just gonna take a little time. Heal up the ship is all. Kill the outlaw gang leader on Rivera 4A. Okay. You can do that. Do a quick save before I jump, just in case we jump into trouble. Take a second for the grav drive to kick in because we only have one bar in it. Okay, is this the planet? Yes, 4A. Abandoned mine over here. Extreme environment. Ain't worried.
Ready for touchdown.
Find much worth taking around here.
Not on the planet itself. It's pretty desolate, Hadrian, but there is this abandoned mining outpost with lots of Crimson Fleet, and they might have some valuable stuff. Plunder the plunderers, you know. Let's see, do we have any? Oh. Like some poisonous gas there. I don't want to get lung damage. There might be a sniper or someone up here. Saw someone just go in there. Just missed them. Oh, yep, there they are.
I think we're being followed.
Do you think? 5 ecliptic. One shot to the face. That's all it takes. Got a turret up there somewhere? Oh no, there's the other guy. I see ya. You're not going anywhere. He's running for the hills. Accept your death like a man. So there are some tactics that I've been employing, and I'll put this in the build guide once that goes live. So I start off with the Orion here, which is my longest range weapon, and sometimes I'll do a like a sneak attack if I can pull it off. This guy isn't very sneaky. This character has nothing in any kind of stealth skill or anything. He is wearing the operative suit, which adds a little bit of sneakiness. Space Adept Advanced Old Earth Pistol. Awesome gun. Terrible rare effect on it. Space Adept, plus 30% damage while in space, which sounds great, but it's not because you don't really do a whole lot of space combat other than, you know, docking and boarding other ships. And if those ships do not have like a functional grav drive, the kick on this gun is going to send you flying backwards. So I tend to want to use laser weapons then anyway. And other than that, the vast majority of battles you're going to have are on the ground while on a planet. And then you automatically lose 15% damage from this gun by doing that. So the Space Adept effect is awful. It's the worst. So whenever I get one of those, I always feel like I got defeated. Like the RNG gods just didn't like me, because basically that's just, it's not good. It's just a 15% nerf to whatever damage would have been there anyway. But yeah, so the Orion, I start with the Orion. It's the longest range one. If I can pull it off, I'll try to do a sneak attack. And then as the battle gets closer and closer, I'll start moving into my mid-range weapon, which is the Varun Inflictor here. Try to get some headshots with that and get some damage over time from the Annihilator rounds. And then when I run out of ammo for that, I'll switch to the Big Bang, which is my short-range shotgun weapon, to try to clean up any mobs that might still be coming after me at melee range or whatever. And if that fails, or if I don't kill everybody at that point, then I have the cutter available as a backup weapon. And with level 4 lasers, we all know how that stacking flame damage can add up. But the Orion that I have is a legendary one, and it is a pretty good one. Was quite happy to find this on, I don't remember if it was in a chest or on a legendary enemy or whatever. But yeah, this one has an extended magazine, so basically I'm not gonna run out of ammo in this. The magazine is 85 rounds on this one, so it's strong enough that if I'm hitting the headshots frequently enough, then yeah, I'm gonna be able to wipe out an entire enemy crowd without having to reload. Hitman, I get 15% more damage while aiming, which I'm always aiming because it's a scoped weapon and I'm always going for headshots. And then Shattering, which is a great effect to break through even the strongest armor. So basically ignores a huge portion of whatever armor the enemy's wearing, so they don't have as much resistance against my attacks, which is usually a thing. With heavily armored enemies, you tend to be very spongy. What do we have here? Anything good? We have a skill book. Already have all those. I think the mining monthly, they give you boosts to the damage of heavy weapons, or like the cutter gripped weapons, tool gripped weapons. Which is damage boosts to the cutter, but I've already maxed that out. Ooh, cheddar snack crackers. Definitely gonna eat some of those. Man, I'm hungry in real life too. I got up today and I just didn't have much of an appetite. So it's like I didn't really eat anything before I started streaming, but now it's like it's kicking in. It's kicking in hard. Alright, ammo. Light particle fuse. I do have a legendary star shard. An advanced one. I'm not taking this one because, well, actually, I should. That mass to value ratio is incredible. But it's only calibrated. I do have a legendary advanced star shard back at the ship that I use from time to time. But the light fuses that I have, I don't have as many of those as I have of the heavy ones by like a long shot. Yeah, I have 7,800 heavy particle fuses. I only have 1,400 of the light particle fuses, but the star shard is definitely a cool weapon that I wish I could use more of. Ah, these mines everywhere. Good thing there's low gravity. I can get out of the way of them quite easily. Need any more containers over here? No. Let's go up those stairs. Hadrian, you saw the flames there. You're gonna have to walk right through them. Not a bad view from up here. Probably, especially during like a sunrise or a sunset, but very desolate. See how it would get very old very quickly if you're stationed here for a really long time, you know? Probably not somewhere I want to put an outpost, although there is some other kind of structure over here. But this planet is not high enough level. I saw some level 5 ecliptic. Just not, the juice isn't worth the squeeze on those. They tend to not carry advanced or superior items, and that's pretty much all I'm interested in. Anything worth it up here? What were they eating? Pappardelle Bolognese. Ooh, that sounds really good. Tranquility? Sure, why not? Any other kind of containers or storage? Cora might like some of these books. Sword of Damocles. She's mature enough she can handle kind of ideas. She's definitely smart enough. Let's see what else. Tale of Two Cities. Oh, man. I don't know. She'd be excited to have a book, but I don't think I would even... I wouldn't put her through that kind of punishment. Dracula was cool, though. I read Dracula. Some of the language is kind of hard to get through. That old English style, but still some cool concepts. Moby Dick is another one. The concept is cool. Language kind of hard to get through. Might be interested. The ship repair fundamentals. She's been expressing interest in being more useful around the ship, so why not? Okay, so hopefully there are some higher level enemies down here in the actual mine itself. Only one way to find out. Level 12, but it's a legendary enemy. Too easy. Too easy. Recalibrate this robot here to be a friend and then activate the unit. find Eon. Good day to you, Karn114. Thank you, Boone. How's your weekend treating you so far? Off to a good start, I hope? Tell if he sees me or not. Well, somebody sees me.
I think you've seen everything. Then you see something like
Didn't
this.
need that rescue axe, but whatever.
Damage. Warning. Damage registered.
See you there. I do want to put out a video guide on just some combat best practices, things that'll make you better at actually playing a game like this. Ah, I see you. There's some tactics that you can use to hit headshots more effectively. And there's ways to kind of tactically switch your weapons and stuff too, to avoid having to do a reload right in the middle of combat.
This is an active industrial site.
Video idea did not work out and have wasted a lot of time. That sucks. I always hate that. It didn't work out in terms of views? Are you talking about the Daedric artifacts for your Oblivion runner or something else? Or it just didn't work out technically? Okay, let's see. I can go through that door there. Wanted to make a video about Echoes of the Veil, creation by Easy Writer. Okay. Is that one of the new paid mods that came out? I'm not gonna, you know, automatically reject the validity of something just because it's a paid mod. There's some talented creators out there doing some really good things that are worth the money, and of course there are others that are trying to charge you $4 for a reskin. Those ones I don't take as kindly to, but if there's talent and effort that's being put into them, I probably am not going to spend the money on them myself, but I'm not gonna hate on them, you know. It's a paid mod, and I guess he made it to apply for a Bethesda level designer job. Oh, nice. Okay, so it's probably pretty good. Have you played it? You don't want to make a negative video. Yeah, okay. 800cc, the most expensive of the creations. Oh, even more expensive than King Ath's one with the Conquest style stuff. Is that one even out yet, I wonder? I think that came out at launch. Did get an advanced weapon in that last chest, so this is worth the while, even the lower level stuff. The lower level enemies might not have advanced weaponry, but some of the containers do. Yeah, an advanced pacifier here too. That was an epic weapon too that I picked up. I want to see what that was. Incendiary Professional Advanced Kraken. 30% damage against alien enemies. Okay, if you're harvesting aliens for like genetic material or something, that could come in handy. And incendiary, randomly deals incendiary damage, which is good because this has a very high rate of fire. It's fully automatic. It has an extended magazine on it. This is not bad. The incendiary damage should... oh no, the incendiary damage on the weapons doesn't stack, but the ones on the level 4 laser weapon skill does, if I remember correctly. But still, not bad for hunting aliens at short range if you're a pistol user. Worth a pretty penny, anyway. You don't know that one? Okay. It doubles the Veil area, and you can enter it without doing Dawn Guard. Okay, cool. And if it features some, you know, interesting level design, if that's what he's using as a portfolio piece, then might be worth checking out. I always appreciate like good level design, which I think Bethesda did a good job with the level design in this game too. They added a lot of verticality to it that was missing from before. A lot of winding tunnels and things like that probably, well, you know, Fallout 4 did a pretty good job of it too with their skyscrapers and stuff in Boston. But Skyrim is sorely missing on verticality, I think. I feel like I'm just rambling now. Levels are nice, but it's boring. Okay. Yeah, I get the feeling. I don't like making negative videos either. I like video games. I like playing video games. I want to go at it from a positive state of mind, you know, positive perspective. This is what I do for fun. I don't want to be too hypercritical of things if I don't have to be. Not doing a lot of damage. Let's get down in there and get a little closer, use some mid-range powerful weapons on there. Okay. There we go. Hand-loading modified AA-99. It's epic, but it is base level. It's not advanced. Anti-personnel UC naval cutlass. Good for melee. Chameleon calibrated UC Star Troop. Okay, so the Star Troop spacesuits are cool. This one's only calibrated though. I've got superior gear, so not worth replacing. Okay, well I wouldn't call it a bust, but there's definitely nothing here that we would use. Yeah, here we go. Superior ecliptic spacesuit. Hadrian might be able to use this.
Plenty of space in my pack if you need to unload some things.
Yeah, I have a superior bounty hunter spacesuit, which gives me 216 physical resistance and over 200 of the other resistance types. This one's much less. It's still superior, but that's at 122 physical, 126 energy, and 130 EM, but it's likely much better than anything that Hadrian is wearing right now. Yeah, the UC Shock Trooper stuff looks really cool, but yeah, it's just, you know, less than half of the resistances that I'm getting with the superior bounty hunter stuff. Let's see, do I got a good helmet for you too? A chameleon, which is good for stealth, but I'm not a stealth guy. All right.
Talk to you soon.
What armor have they got you in now? Well, I have got me in, well, you know, that's funny that you say what armor have they got you in now, because basically the game with its random loot system does kind of determine what armor that you're wearing. The plus side of that is the game is easy enough that the gear doesn't matter as much until you get to New Game Plus 10, very hard difficulty level at high levels, right? But I was lucky enough to find some good armor, right? Superior Bounty Hunter spacesuit. It's heavy. It's you know, 35.5 pounds or whatever. You know, it's not pounds because pound isn't mass. That's weight. 353 or 35.5 kilograms probably is what they're using for that, which is heavy. But I get a lot of resistances across all of the damage types there. So yeah, that one's good. It is a rare, so it does have one effect, and that's bolstering. I do get 100 energy and physical resistance to lower my health. So as I get in trouble, my resistances go up, which is very nice, very nice. A UC shock armor pack, which is superior at, it's still heavy at around 10 kilograms. Nothing special about it, but you know, it's not goofy looking. It kind of fits in a little bit, I guess. And then for the armor, I'm wearing a superior United Colonies Urban War Space Helmet, which looks cool as hell. It's seen some battle. Scuffed up. And again, it's superior, so it offers a lot of resistances out of the gate, but no kind of effects on it. So still looking for better armor for sure. I'm sure that's going to take dozens of hours to find exactly what I'm looking for. And as far as the weapons I got going right now, I already showed off the legendary Orion that I've been using. Some good bonuses on this. Get increased magazine, plus 15% damage while I'm aiming, and then armor, ignore armor, which is huge. So this is kind of what I'm using as my primary weapon. I also have a legendary Big Bang that I've been using. It randomly applies different elemental damage types. Also get 15% plus damage while I'm sneaking, or not sneaking, while I'm aiming. And then the less armor I have, the more damage I do, which is, I'm pretty capped out on armor. So that's probably not doing much of anything at the moment. And then just a regular old advanced Varun Inflictor, which is probably my strongest weapon, but not doing a ton. Not doing a ton of armor one way or the other. I'm in a Starfield-centric Discord, and one guy who's running the vanilla game but has his level maxed out at like 325 or something like that. He's doing like a couple thousand energy damage with this weapon and like 400 physical damage with the same Varun Inflictor. And I have no idea how he's getting that. It must be... There have been... rumors that there's a hidden superior modifier, there's a hidden superior tier to all advanced weapons that goes a little higher. As you can see, I'm wearing superior gear, and there's only advanced weapons, but I could confirm this by opening it up in Xedit or whatever, and I think people have, that there are superior weapons in the game, but they're labeled incorrectly as advanced weapons. Which I'm hoping is a bug that they'll fix soon, so we know exactly what we're getting when we see these huge numbers. But still, that's a huge boost. That guy in that Discord also has all of the skills. That's kind of like something that he took upon himself as a extra challenge that he was doing in the game, was to get all the skills. So there might be some unknown synergies in other skills in other places that are going to boost your damage output as well. Just don't know. But maybe someday I will get there. Okay. Yeah. I wouldn't call it a waste of time. Got some valuable gear here. Got some better armor for Hadrian, which is nice. Oh.
You make the impossible look easy, Captain.
Well, you know, I'm Larry Steve Dave, the Magic Man. Oh, there he is. What else does he have here? Calibrated Urban Eagle, refined space helmet. Nothing. Basically nothing. Okay, what do we got down here? Explorer spacesuit, refined bounty hunter pack. That's 60 kilograms of armor. On Earth, it weighs as much as full steel plate armor, and without a horse, you would get tired after a few minutes of wearing it. Yeah, indeed. Luckily, we're in low gravity. So, while the mass stays the same, the weight is definitely diminished. I actually don't mind the lockpicking minigame in this game. I think I actually prefer it to the traditional lockpicking system that they had in Skyrim and Fallout 4. Just kind of takes the guesswork out of it a little bit, you know? It's very valuable for how heavy it is. Definitely will take that. All right, let's get out of here. Go to our next bounty. Let's see. We might be able to take on that space combat mission if we get back to the ship and it has repaired in the time that we were down here. Fingers crossed. Did I already loot you? Of course I did. Alright. How the hell am I getting out of here? Oh yeah, I need to go back up there. You're slacking on me here, robot friend. There's plenty of space in her pack. She wants to be cyberneticized, dude. She's into it. Yeah, buddy. Okay. Oh, I'm missing some conversation here. All right, let me catch up. 800cc is the most expensive of the creation. Doubles the Veil area. It's nice but boring. Has some beautiful dungeons and outside areas, but nothing special at all. I see. Yeah. If I'm paying money for like expanded levels or like new levels in Skyrim, I want the level design to be interesting, right? I've kind of thought about trying my hand at it. I'm sure it's harder than it looks, right? To actually have a compelling level that you go through and has, you know, compelling action and exploration and different ways to go through it. It's got to be easier than it or harder than it looks. Oh yeah, about the negativity in the videos. Yeah, just playing video games for fun, and I don't want to I don't want to harp on things too much. Hardly ever hear you Todd bashing. Yeah, it's hard for me to bash Todd because he's giving me some of my favorite games that I've ever played, right? There are pros and cons to each one of his games. They're buggy as hell. They make some very questionable design decisions when they release a game, but for the most part they give us these fantastic sandboxes that we can then customize and play on our own. And that's where the fun is for me. It's like, okay, I'll play through these games a few times and see all the different branching storylines and everything, but that's not what keeps me coming back to the game after that forever and ever. It's the sandbox that they give us, the world that they built. It allows us to create our own fun, and that's something that Todd has been very good at over the years and through all of his different games, is that he's, even with like Fallout 4, which a lot of people didn't like in this game. People accuse this game of being, what's the quote? Wide as an ocean, but deep as a puddle. And yeah, there is some truth to that, but that's the same thing holds for all of the other games. That it holds for every single other game that Bethesda has released in well, at least since I've been playing, from Oblivion to Fallout 3. Fallout New Vegas did go a little deeper, but that's my least favorite, and that's not even a BGS game, but that was made in the engine. And then, of course, Skyrim, Fallout 4, and now Starfield. That's because it allows you to create your own. It allows you to create your own fun. You create your own challenges. You think of cool new things to do in the game, and then you're given the tools to actually do it. And if you want to take it a little farther, you can mod the game, and if you want to take it a little farther than that, you can create your own mods. And I've tweaked with like balance and things in the creation kit and Xedit and stuff myself. And that's what drives the longevity of the game, right? It's not the out of the box experience with these games. So yeah, Todd, he's still okay in my book. He, over the years, have turned into more of a salesman than a developer, which is probably the biggest critique that I can give him. He goes up there in these video game conventions and he presents these games, and it's his job to sell this game, right? And he does a good job of it. He talks it up like crazy. Says all kind of things of varying levels of accuracy and precision. He expands the truth a little bit. He omits some things here and there, but when I finally get the games, I'm always kind of in love with them. Still looking forward to Elder Scrolls 6. Yeah, best description of Starfield in my opinion. Even modders who were reverse engineering the engine said Starfield said it was garbage. The engine itself? Well, yeah, I mean, it said the game was garbage or said the engine was garbage? And what's the best description of Starfield? The wide as the ocean and deep as a puddle? I don't disagree with it. I think there's depth here that people aren't seeing or don't get to see or don't care to see because they either don't like the game enough to spend enough time in it to see the depth, or they're not interested in the world enough to make the depth for themselves. But it's there. The tools are there to do it. Okay, that sounds like Varun. Oh no, that's Ecliptic. Okay, these are low-level ships. I should be able to take these. Oh my god, my hole is already busted. I should have. Can't find any to actually target here. Spam ship parts. Oh my god. There were too many of them all over the place. I couldn't find them. Wide as an ocean, deep as a puddle. I mean, I don't disagree with the assessment, but I disagree that it's anything worse than Skyrim in terms of depth. I wouldn't have minded 5 to 7 handcrafted, truly open world planets to travel to, not 1,000 planets that are copy pasta. Yeah, that's kind of the thing, and the counter argument to that is that I largely ignore those planets. When I'm in the mood to go explore them, I'll go explore them, but when I'm not in the mood, I don't. They just don't exist to me. I can choose not. I can opt out, and the game still is great to me. Now, can I repair my ship without being in space? Can I use repair parts from here? Yes, I can. Excellent. Okay, now I still have 4 repair parts left. Let's do a quick save here before I take off. But let's see, we do get handcrafted areas. We have New Atlantis, we have Neon City, we have Aquila City, we have Sidonia, and then we have smaller places like Gagarin, the Den, the Red Mile. Now, some of those smaller places, they don't really offer a lot of depth in terms of exploration, but a good handful of 3 or 4 or even 5 of them do. And there are a lot of places in like New Atlantis and Neon where if you actually go into the buildings, instead of just, you know, going along the strip of like Neon and things like that, if you go into the buildings and stuff, there are stories and quest lines and stuff to follow. If you like the game enough and you like the world enough to actually explore it, there are things to find that are handcrafted. Yeah, space combat is too hard. It's too fucking difficult. This is ridiculous. These are low-level ships. I have a beefy C-class ship here. I should barely even be feeling these laser shots, and yet I'm taking focused fire from 2 level 18 ships as a level 106 character, and I'm just getting completely shredded. Space combat is too difficult at high levels. They need to scale this down a little bit. All right, so I was gonna have a conversation about how and why space combat is more difficult than grounded combat. It seems kind of wrong. Hey Magus, what's up? So on the ground, you have all kinds of tactics at your disposal, right? All kinds of defensive tactics. You can use the terrain as cover to reload your weapons. You can switch weapons if you run out to keep up your offense. There are all kinds of starborn abilities and armor and stuff that you get to increase your defensive resistances. In space combat, you get a shield that might run out. You get a hull that's going to get shredded. And after that, it's just a battle of attrition, especially against multiple ships. You can lock onto an enemy, which gives you more firepower and more focus power to be able to dispatch of that ship more quickly, which is nice. But while you're sitting there, you're not moving. It's like VATS, kind of, except that other ships are killing you the entire time you're just sitting there, focus firing on this one. Yeah, and in my opinion, it's the lack of equipment buffs. Like, so on ground combat, you can use chems and stuff to make yourself stronger. You have the starborn abilities to boost up both offense and defense. You have a ton more skills for ground combat than you'd have space combat. And I'm not slacking on the space combat skills either. I have pretty much everything that's relevant, except for maybe automated weapon systems. I can put some turrets on here, but that's not going to help with defense. That's just offense is defense. But I'm maxed out on pretty much everything. Shields, targeting control systems, piloting, energy weapon systems, particle beam weapon systems, starship engineering, starship design to create a badass machine. It's all there. And I'm even in the social tree, I am using ship command where I can increase my crew to make this even stronger, which I'm still working on this one. But the crew will also help strengthen ship combat as well. And I have everybody here. I have Amelia Earhart, who adds to my piloting skill. I have Barrett, who adds to my particle beam systems and starship engineering, so the repairs happen faster. And who else do I have? Samco, who also adds to my piloting by a lot. And Sarah, who just helps me travel farther. And even Vasco, which helps with the shield systems. I don't know how to make my ship any stronger. Now, one of the things that they've promised in an update is that they're going to have more granular control over difficulty levels. So you'll be able to go into the menu and turn ship combat down while keeping ground combat high, right? Sent you a message on Discord in the Tech Talk section. Oh, that's probably the Couch Warrior one. Isn't a good defense a good offense? Yeah, actually, I studied martial arts actually for a while, and one of the things that they teach is a good offense is a good defense, and a good defense is a good offense. It's just how you apply these different techniques. Defensive techniques can be used offensively and vice versa. But there's no way to apply these techniques in space combat differently. You shoot and you take damage, and if you do more damage than you take, then you win. If you take more damage than you do, then you lose. And that's the long and short of space combat.
Weapons ready.
Now, eventually, here and there, you do get, yeah, they are out of range. Might be able to pick this guy up. Occasionally, you will get, like, these asteroid fields and things like that. That you can use as cover. Yeah, this is ridiculous. This is absolutely ridiculous. There's no way. It's impossible. Let's see. Those auto weapons for the ship wreck everything. Yeah, that's the next thing I have to do. Maybe put those extra slots into your missile, particle beam, and engineering. Oh, yeah, maybe. So here's the thing about the particle beams and the missiles. Putting more resources into those, like you're talking about, like the reactor points. Yeah, I'm getting jumped. It's absolutely crazy, and they're way lower level than me. That doesn't actually make them stronger. That makes them reload faster. And yeah, it's not the problem that I have reloading and having active time on these. It's the it's the fact that I'm just not doing enough damage. Hey, we got James Ansel. Welcome, buddy. Can you marry Amelia Earhart? Sadly not, no.
We're in orbit. What next?
Turns out the real life engines I can put a lot in engines though. That will make me faster and more maneuverable. That might help. I don't want to waste all my boost gauge right now. Fucking hell. How is it a level 30 ship is doing so much more damage than I am? Yeah, out of ship parts, and I'm dead. Just dead. Nothing I can do. No, I'm already running the most powerful particle beam weapons in the game. I checked the wikis. This is the highest level particle beam weapon there is. There's no upgrade to be had on the ship. I could just add habs to it to increase my hull damage, which is basically just health points, I guess. But no, in terms of damage output, the only thing I can do is add the auto turrets.
Orbital insertion done.
So the reason why I spec'd into particle beam weapons over other stuff, and I do have energy weapon systems, because that's where I started off with. I'm not sure if the Cyberneticist actually came with energy weapon systems. No, it didn't, because it's a tier 2. But I started speccing into energy weapons early before I even really knew about the whole particle beam weapon system skill and what particle beams did that energy weapons didn't. Basically, particle beam weapons, they damage both the shield and the hull, the shield and the hull. And they will both wear down the shield. They'll give you a lot of shield damage when you're attacking somebody who has a shield active, and they'll attack the hull once that's active. The energy beam weapons, they'll wear down a shield, but they're extremely ineffective against a hull. And ballistic weapons, they're really good against a hull, but really bad against shields. So particle beam weapons are are a jack of all trades. Not even a jack of all trades. They do just as much damage to both shield and hull as the ballistic and energy weapons do. So there's no reason not to spec into anything other than particle beam weapons. The good part about that is instead of having like a ballistic weapon and a particle beam weapon, now you can use your ship's power just to increase the amount of particle beam weapons you have on your ship. So that's how you see me doing 4 energy beams instead of just the 2, because I do have particle beams on the top of either side of these weapons bays here, on the side and on either side of the cockpit. And then I have missiles. They do more damage than the particle beams do, but they're slower to reload, and you have to have a lock on your enemy, a full lock on your enemy in order to use them. I might just straight up replace those with the particle beam weapons though, just to get more damage output. All right, yes, sons of bitches. Okay, let's try to take out the little guy first.
Enemy's jump drive is offline.
Jump it.
Okay, out of ship parts now. Yeah, I'm just dead. No, because very hard difficulty level is not the hardest difficulty level. That's why. This is very hard difficulty level and New Game Plus 10. New Game Plus 10, enemies have, I think, another 100% damage resistance, so they take half the amount of damage on top of whatever damage resistances they already have, and they also do twice the amount of damage. You lose damage resistance, they gain damage resistance, and it basically makes the game twice as hard as very hard difficulty level. It's almost an entirely new difficulty level, if not even more. And in order to get to the higher difficulty levels, you have to like the game enough to do 10 New Game Plus levels. And there was a bug earlier that made the ship combat not respect your New Game Plus levels. And they fixed that. They quote unquote fixed it in one of the more recent updates. So they took something that was already too hard and they made it even harder. So I'm gonna swallow my pride here. And yeah, if I'm ranting about unscaled, like the poorly scaled difficulty on space combat, this is why. It's just impossible. It's hard. It's not just hard. You just can't do it. To me, a properly scaled difficulty is something that makes you think harder and be better at the game in order to accomplish. It shouldn't be a complete like barrier to entry of you just can't do this. Even based on like what skills you have and everything, which I've just showed that I'm pretty much maxed out on everything except for crew and auto turrets. But if you don't want to spec into crew or auto turrets, then yeah, if you're good enough at the game, maybe you should be able to get through it. Or maybe there's another tactic that you can use, but there's nothing. Oh, I thought I saw episode 2 come up. It's a 9-hour stream. Damn, dude. You must like that character. You miss Skyrim, huh? That's crazy. All right, let's see what happens if I push this down to hard. Yep. Doesn't matter. Hard isn't much easier. Yeah, that's the new game plus 10 doing its work. That shows you that's scaling harder than the actual difficulty. Yeah, it's just the constant peppering from all three ships that's killing me here. We'll try one more time at hard, and then we'll push it down to normal. Engaged? Fool, I've been married for years. Don't have enough range. These weapons do have a pretty good range. Okay, I think that might have been my problem, is I was rushing in. I should have kept my distance instead of just going right into the hornet's nest immediately, you know? Sorry for everybody's motion sickness here. Oh my god. Plenty of cargo space. I'll just pick up all this stuff. Yeah, no, the space combat would be fine. I love the shipbuilding in this game. Space combat would be fine if it was scaled properly. I don't really expect them to add too much nuance to space combat now. It needs to scale properly with grounded combat difficulty. It's a pain in the ass to have to constantly go into the menu and switch these things around. Yeah, no, this didn't. It's not a general issue. Like most people who play this game, they're not gonna know what the hell I'm talking about or what my struggle is, and they think they probably think I'm just a bad player complaining about the difficulty being too hard because I don't know how to play the game properly. But no, most people are not experiencing this on New Game Plus 10, and it's ridiculous. Up until about New Game Plus 5 or 6, it's like, yeah, the ship combat was notably harder than ground combat, but it wasn't this stifling, you know. And then like New Game Plus 8, 9, 10, that's when it was getting nuts. Oh yeah, this is something that took me a while to realize about this game, is that if you if you destroy an enemy ship in this game, there's going to be space debris that appears on the planet map. We can actually go down here, and it doesn't give you much, but it's kind of a cool little flavor thing. It's immersive, right? This wasn't here before.
Landing sites good to go.
It's things like this that add to the depth of the game, in my opinion. I think people mean different things when they say depth a little bit, and I think some people don't really know exactly what they mean when they say depth. They just know it when they see it, but actually it means different things to a lot of different people. But this game has depth. It has depth to it. You just, gotta like the game enough to find it. Some people just don't, and that's okay. It's not for everybody. Now where the hell is this wreckage at? That is not Major Hadrianson on. Structure. Here we go. There's the debris. Wow, it's... Okay, that's not that far away. I thought that was 4,000 meters away. I was like, I'm not going that far. Pretty solid game in your opinion? Yeah. Okay, so there's a few different camps to it. There are the people who they go out of their way to hate on the game, to hate on Bethesda, and hate everything that Bethesda stands for, and everything that developers tried to work on was wrong. They like spreading that hate, and if they find out you like the game, they will fight you tooth and nail on it, and that's rough. There are the people who like the game overall but have a lot of complaints about it. Probably like someone like Magus or Zacharon. I watched that whole review, and he had a lot of critiques about the game, but overall that was a very positive review. If you watch the whole thing, he brought up a lot of the critiques that he had about the game, why it was bad, how it could do better, but then he would go, but that wasn't a very big deal to me. I still enjoyed this aspect of the game despite that. And that's kind of where I'm at. I'm well aware of the critiques of the game, the flaws that it has. But I don't think those critiques are much worse than other BGS games. In fact, some of the exact same critiques have existed in Skyrim for a very long time. But because Skyrim, you know, caught that lightning in a bottle with the mod scene and everything, the community was able to get past these critiques and these flaws of the game. Not saying that Starfield is as good or better. That's a qualitative analysis that you have to make based on your own preferences and things like that. Oh, there's the entrance to it right here. But I'm just saying that, you know, a lot of the critiques that people have of this game, they do apply to Skyrim, but those people don't apply those same critiques to Skyrim anymore because they like Skyrim better. Which is fine. You're allowed to not like this game. You're allowed to like Skyrim more. It's a completely different game, right? In terms of leveling and itemization, they're completely different games. But in terms of world building, bug content, this game, for as rough as it was, and people like to critique the game about the rough state that it launched in a better state than Skyrim did, that's for sure, especially if you're a PlayStation 3 player. In fact, I would argue now that the vanilla Starfield game at this point right now is in a better state than vanilla Skyrim is, especially with the Skyrim updates that keep coming out. Yeah, I mean, it's absolutely fine to have your opinions on the game. It's okay for people to like the game. It's okay for people to absolutely love the game. It's okay for people to not like the game. It's okay for people to actually hate the game. But I don't know, trying to spread the hate, or trying to convince somebody to like the game who's just not gonna like the game, that's yeah, it's just play the games that you want to play. You know, interact with people, that have civil conversations about it, right? Don't attack somebody's sense of taste or being an idiot because they like this game or don't like this game, or they have terrible taste because they like this game or don't like this game. Making personal judgments about people based on the games that they like, that's garbage person stuff. Don't do that. Don't be a garbage person. Except for mobile game players. Those people are garbage people too. There's two things that I can't stand. It's people who judge people based on their taste in games, and mobile game players. Dude looks like Dwight Schrute. Yeah. No, Zarek's a funny guy. The way that he carries himself, and the way that he talks, and the way that he dresses for his videos, and he's always wearing the tie and the suit and everything, and he speaks in this very like authoritative kind of he's got this I'm an expert vibe to him, which rubs some people the wrong way, but he's actually a pretty cool dude. He's very smart. He's obviously very intelligent. You might not agree with his opinions, but he never really expresses his opinions as fact, right? He never says this is a garbage game. He says, I don't like this game because of this reason and this reason and this reason, right? And I respect the hell out of him for that. Yeah, Zarek's cool. I like Zarek. Sense of style aside. You have terrible taste because you wear glasses? Yeah. Would have loved Planet Vehicles. There's still time for that. I'm sure. Well, actually, somebody's already modded. Oh my god, those allergies are getting to me. I promise you I'm not getting emotional. But I'm definitely tearing up over here. Allergies have been crazy over here lately. We had a ton of rain come in from California a couple weeks ago, and we got more coming in, I think, this week or next week. But it's been like bright and sunny since then. And whenever we get a lot of rain, followed by a bunch of sun, just all kinds of stuff just grows all over the place over here. And stuff that we don't usually have to deal with throughout the year when it doesn't rain a whole bunch. So at points where I would be fine normally in terms of allergies, suddenly a week after it rains, I'm just dying. His older Skyrim builds were in depth. Yeah, actually, I was I was told on one of my Skyrim builds, somebody called me the cooler version of Zarek Zakaron, which I took as a total compliment, right? It's like, great build. I kind of think you're the cooler version of Zarek. And I'm like, okay, I'll take that. I'll take that all day. Yeah, not being a big fan. That's another one, right? It's like, yeah, you might be a bigger fan of the fantasy stuff than you do the sci-fi space stuff, and I totally get that. I would say I'm probably slightly more in the camp of the fantasy section, but I mean, I like Star Wars almost just as much as I like Lord of the Rings. We like long character builds. No one says it, but we all do. Yeah, well, you see like a Fudge Muppet build, right? And you're like, okay, this is kind of cool, but I want more. Then you go to someone like Zarek or me, and that's the audience I'm trying to get to, because that's what I want. Turns out other people like them too. Zarek's actually obviously a much bigger channel than I am, but he's not really doing Skyrim and stuff anymore. They still work even with, well, he's done an Irem builds too, I think, like his cavalry one. Oh, hey, there's Haster too, snuck in there. How's it going, Haster? Yeah, his builds on Skyrim were like 45 minutes to an hour long. Yeah, mine are around 30 minutes, and I kind of think that they're a little too long at some point too, but they hit all the points that I want. Yeah, longer builds are not necessarily a bad thing. They just don't reach maybe a wider audience like something like Fudge Muppet would. That's how it is here now. We had like 2 or 3 days of rain, and today is sun, and I'm semi under the weather last night into now. Yeah, it happens. Stuff that grows, it just gets into your pipes. Well, people think that they want shorter videos because they don't have the time to follow an entire long, in-depth build video guide, but you're not going to get, if you're following the build guide in your own playthrough, which is kind of what they're meant to do, then you're not going to get as much of a satisfying playthrough out of that as if you were just watching a 10-minute long video build guide, and just kind of following that and saying, okay, do this quest line to get this item, do this quest line to do this item, now do this, and then at level 12 do this, and now you're done. You're like, what? That's not a playthrough. That's that's how to get to the point where you can do certain things in the game. That's not really a build, especially a Skyrim build. That might be fine for like the end game of something like Diablo, where roleplay really isn't a thing and a character concept isn't really a thing. It's just all about class and build. But Skyrim is the ultimate in character building, in my opinion, because it allows you to do all aspects of a build. And Starfield's actually pretty good at this too. Is from the very ground up, even how hackable the engine is in terms of mods and actually getting in there and changing the things that you want. It gives you more freedom to completely define your character from the very essence of that character's souls down to that character's like cellular makeup, and then into personality, backstory, why the character fights the way they do, and then being able to define a gameplay style, and then through mods and gameplay mods and weapon mods and armor mods and things like that, being able to define this playstyle in a tangible way that echoes off of the roleplay parts of it, the personality, the backstory, the decision making of the character. There's no other games. BGS games do that better than any other game, and just the fantasy stylings of the Elder Scrolls, I think, put it above a space game like Starfield in this way, because you have the different races. And there's another criticism. They should have had like alien people in this game, different races. That would have been awesome. That would have actually increased the depth quite a bit. But they just don't have the world building built up around that right now. That's not the direction they wanted to go with the game. Whatever. But yeah, I mean, you can do all that stuff as far as the personality, the backstory. It's all completely open-ended, and once we start getting more mods for it, then we'll get restructured skill trees and things like that will widen the things that you can do in gameplay, like Ordinator does, that will help you enable tangible changes to your gameplay based on roleplay decisions that you're making. We'll get there. This game will get there. Maybe not at the level of Skyrim. Probably not to the level of Skyrim, but we'll get there. But yeah, that's why Skyrim is still alive to this day, and that's why Skyrim builds are still interesting to this day, because there are an infinite amount of ways to play through a character in that game. Better than Diablo, better than Elden Ring, any of the Souls-likes. Any other game that has those quote-unquote builds to it, Skyrim's always going to be best, in my opinion, because of that. Agreed. You like long character builds too. It's like saying you don't like soda or chocolate, but low-key you do. Yeah. You might look down upon soda, but you still like soda. You still want a Coke every now and then. And if like a lot of people, which is a great change to make in your life, if you're giving up soda, kudos to you. I'm not ready to do it yet, but yeah, some people who like give that stuff up, they start looking down on it like, oh, soda? No, I stopped drinking that a long time ago. You piece of shit. Why are you drinking soda, you unhealthy bastard? But as soon as they get a taste of like Pepsi or Dr. Pepper on their lips, they're gonna be like, damn, this is way better than I remember. This is some good shit. It happens. Dr. Pepper's my poison too, Echo. Fudge Muppet did like 12 to 20 minutes average, and they did go through backstory, and some of the backstories were well written. They were always pretty paper thin though. Anything like 25 minutes plus is solid, sure. Taproots is good, yeah. Just the production quality in terms of builds, it doesn't go into very much depth, but the Taproots is, as far as like roleplay and story building and stuff, Taproots was great, if I remember correctly, if I'm thinking of the right one. But yeah, it was a very small channel. Everyone has the times working for 60, 65 hours weeks, and I still, yeah, no, I mean, I even just use them as background. Like, Bellasaurus builds are very short, but they really lean into like creative synergies in Valkyrie and things like that. But even like those kind of builds where you have to pay attention, there's some like really crazy like synergy, like smart stuff going on. It's like if I miss something, I can always just, you know, pause it and go back. But Skyrim builds are great background for me while I'm working. It keeps my mind engaged on an otherwise boring task, you know. Taproot's a smaller channel, but good and under. Yeah, I like Taproots a lot. Not consistent. All types of builds and archetypes. It's very in-depth, Skyrim. Maybe I'm thinking of a different channel. It sounds very familiar. It's been a year since they put it. Yeah, okay. Oh, well, yeah, the UK is going to get a lot of rain. Perma, you mean permadeath, James? Requiem and permadeath? That's pretty hardcore, buddy. No, Taproots was always very strong. I don't think they deleted anything. They just never had very much. Heller, Aurora says. Heller's at my Jameson outpost right now. He's not on the crew. He's with Lynn running my Jameson outpost. Or Jemison outpost. Mountain Dew Voltage or Baja Blast. Those are solid choices there. I do like a Baja Blast. Very different soda than something like a cola or a Dr. Pepper, though. All right, are we ready to destroy this Crimson Fleet, Captain? You're not going to be able to go through the planet there, buddy. Oh, level 2? This is going to take me like 2 seconds. Whoops. Yeah, that should have literally taken 2 seconds on a level 2 ship, but instead, with the damage scaling on New Game Plus 10, it took like 20 seconds. But at least I was never in any kind of danger there. That helped. But on the ground, facing a level 2 enemy, one shot I would have been done. It would have literally taken 2 seconds, if not less, to kill a level 2 enemy on the ground. In space, does not scale properly. They need to either rebalance it or give us those granular difficulty settings they're talking about. You drink it room temperature? Oh no, I need a cold soda. I like a cold soda out of the fridge. I generally don't like to put ice in it because the ice leaks into the soda and waters it down. Ginger ale is good. Ginger ale is underrated. Underrated soda. Synergy won't become. You're talking about your Argonian? You got a build in mind for this? I haven't been able to make any of your streams this week. I've been way too busy at work, Magus. I'm sorry. It's just those time slots that you send to stream at are like right over my meeting time, and it doesn't help that I've been super busy this week working extra hours and stuff. I'll catch one of them. You know it's not for lack of trying. Okay, let me catch up here. The chat is on fire right now. Okay. Drink at room temperature. Wonder how that new soda brand is. The one that claims not to have all the shit in it while keeping the good taste. It's not going to taste the same. You got to load it up with sugar for it to be able to. I do like a Diet Coke. And I do drink 0-calorie caffeinated beverages like this Monster right here. 0 calories, sugar-free. It gives me just the right amount of caffeine. There are some other chemicals in it, but mostly just extracts from the things that you would find in like workout supplements and things like that. A sugar-free Monster is not bad for you. In moderation. If you're chain drinking them, you're gonna die immediately. Watch your caffeine intake, but as long as you're doing that, you're going to be fine. There's just stuff that's there to promote good circulation, good brain function, things like B vitamins, stuff like that. There are chemicals in it, but there are chemicals in natural food as well. Everything's chemistry. Apparently, oh, like the Celsius stuff? You might be talking about the Celsius stuff. I've tried some of that. It tastes fine. I would rather have a Monster than a Celsius, and it has all the same stuff in it. That's kind of more bougie. They are pricey. I've seen them at Costco too. Room temp, no ice in the bottles. You know, a Mexican Coke is some good stuff though. They use that real cane sugar instead of the corn syrup. It's a subtle difference, but it's still pretty good, and you get the experience of cracking open a bottle. I do like a Mexican Coke. Good stuff. Werner's ginger ale. So not the what's the regular stuff that most people do? It's not the Werner's, it's Canada Dry is the one I'm thinking of. That's the one I usually go for, but yeah, the Werner's is better, and sometimes you can get a craft ginger ale or a craft root beer. That stuff's real good. No worries, you know, you got stuff in life going on. Okay, cool, man. I feel bad. I consider all of you my friends, and when you stream and I'm not able to make it, I do feel like I'm not supporting you properly. Mystic Purple Mountain Dew, huh? Zero sugar energy drinks are good. They're very tasty. You like the white? Yeah, I don't know. I actually prefer the taste of a sugar-free Monster to a full sugar Monster. The Red Bull, the sugar-free stuff is really good, but I do like a full sugar Red Bull better. I do prefer it to the sugar-free. But yeah, I mean, this, like the low carb blue Monster tastes better than a green Monster. It's ridiculous, and all the zero sugar stuff is really good. I don't know what they're doing. Caffeine and nicotine are in my blood. 10 years in the Marine. Yeah, armed services. Those guys smoke like chimneys. A lot of stress to deal with, though. And not just the stress of, like, combat and stuff. Both of my brothers were in the military. And just a lot of just the rigidness, the harshly structured life that you have to live. There's almost zero freedom until you're, you know, let away on leave. And then just the asshole personalities that are drawn to leadership in the military. All that stuff is, it's not a great life. From what I mean, certain people are drawn to it. They love it. They love what it stands for. They have a rich heritage, and their bloodline goes back to it and everything. But for a lot of people, it doesn't line up well with, you know, how humans are supposed to live. Respect the hell out of anybody who wants to serve, for sure. Three days away from a year smoke-free and 9 years sober? That's awesome, man. That is awesome. Yeah, my family has a little bit of a history of addiction for both alcohol and cigarettes. I learned at a young age not to even give myself a chance on either of those. So instead, I'm addicted to caffeinated beverages and junk food. Love a brownie, love ice cream. What the hell am I doing? Take out the outlaw captain at a deserted mineral plant. Okay. Let's go do it. Tits or Canada Dry? Why are you making him choose? Prefer the sugar-free Monsters too? Yeah. Tastes better than root beer and love Rose lemon? I've never tried rose lemon. Okay. Starborn Guardian, a single level 72 ship. Let's see if I fare better than 3 level 30 ship, or a level 30 ship and a level 18 and a level 20. I tend to have an easier time with the Guardians than I do the lower level. Oh my god, this is more than 1 Guardian though. This is 2. That's not fair. I don't have any ship parts left. God damn it. Yeah, no, I'm dead. Nothing I can do. Yeah, boosting will remove the locks that enemies have on you. They'll remove enemy locks for like missiles and things like that, but they're still free to shoot you with their lasers and things. Save. Yeah.
We're here.
Are they not here this time? Oh no, there they are. I just saw them pop in. Where are they? Oh, I haven't gone yet. Okay. Okay. Save it. Oh, I've already discovered it. I can just land right on the planet. Great. Can't you just land? Sometimes you can, sometimes you can't. I've already discovered this planet, so I can. That'll get me through it. I could have landed directly at the point of interest too, but I wasn't certain I was going to be able to land directly on the planet. So we're going to take off right away again. Take sodas over booze and smokes any... Well, yeah. Again, moderation is key, but typically, yeah. Much better off with a soda addiction than you are a cigarette or alcohol addiction, for sure. Starborn ships remind me of Operation High Jump, where the Navy pilot flies a recon mission in Antarctica and finds warm land with mammoths on it, and alien flying... I doubt you meant to say Aryan flying saucers. That would be something completely different. But alien flying saucers, I think is what you meant to say there. Okay, let's see here. All right, we're here. Encumbrance is a little high, and I'm kind of wondering what's... Aryan is what you meant. Like, white supremacist Aryans? If so, then that's pretty wacky.
What?
Oh, hey, what's up, buddy?
I'm moving. Fire!
Shoot him in the ass.
They'll trouble us anymore.
How do you get so much hang time in the air like that? That is an awesome skill called Boost Assault Training. It's a tier 4 boost pack skill. You have to, you know, have a certain amount of skills already taken in this tree to even unlock this. But once you do, it starts off at rank 1. Enemies nearby take damage when you boost and have a chance to catch on fire. So the blast from the boost pack kind of has an area of effect on it. And then you can upgrade that to knock down enemies, which is great for crowd control, especially like if you get ganged up on by a bunch of like melee attackers or aliens or something like that. You boost up and it can knock down. It's a chance. It's not knocking down everybody, but it does help with some crowd control there. Aiming down sights while boosting let you hover in place and fuel is still expended until empty. So you'll be able to hover like that. For as long as you see the boost meter is going down. So you're not going to be able to boost around, but you can actually hover, and you can actually move around while you're up there too. And then the 4th rank of that is that it actually slows time, so it makes it easier to aim and stuff. 70% is quite a bit slower, so it gives you time to aim properly, see, you know, incoming projectiles like grenades and stuff like that, and get out of the way, you know. Yep, so that's it. That's actually a very fundamental part of my Cyberneticist build, because the boost pack here, leveraging that and leaning into it is a very kind of like technological centric thing that you can do that has an impact in gameplay. So that'll be heavily featured in the build guide. The build guide, by the way, I mentioned at the beginning of the stream. I got about, I want to say like 5 or 6 minutes of video left to edit, and that thing is done. I still do need to come up with an attractive thumbnail and everything for it. So that'll take me a little bit of time, but if all goes well, I might have the Cyberneticist build out this week. It's right about there. Instigating rescue. I'm not even gonna pick that up. They did melee weapons dirty in this game. They don't have the tiers that the guns did, and you can't modify them. Not to say that you can't make a melee build work. You definitely can. It's just that the melee weapons didn't get the love that the guns got. And I hope in the expansion that they allowed you to do that. They did in Fallout 4. You could modify the melee weapons the same as you could. Guns in that game. I think if I had to guess, it was something that they probably had meant to put into the game, but just they ran out of time. So if that's the case, then I would imagine they will probably end up putting it in an expansion. I hope. But what we got, we can definitely make do. Ask me how. Oh yeah, I know you did a solid melee playthrough. Yeah, I mean you definitely can. It takes a lot of like satellite things around just the melee combat. Things like chems, the pharmaceuticals and stuff that you use. A lot of the skills that you use go a long way. So it's definitely viable for sure. Might be tough to play on New Game Plus 10, where the real like hardest difficulty level is. I guess we just have to try it out to be sure. I do plan on doing a melee build for this game at some point. Advanced pack, no, still too heavy for the value.
Push forward.
Push forward into your death. Ooh, one-shot headshot from downtown. Getting burned over here.
No, they got me.
Don't think I saw any legendary enemies down there, so I'm not making a priority to go.
Use that power responsibly.
More responsibly? How do you want me to use it more responsibly, Hadrian? Says the woman from the freaking terror morph division of the Xeno Warfare Department. Don't tell me about responsibility. Yeah, buddy. Okay, that was a good fight. That's what I'm talking about. Demoralizing barrow knife. We'll take that. Might be good for a melee build. Let's see what this would get. Speaking of melee combat, let's see what you can look forward to for legendary weapons. Instigating deals double damage to targets with full health. This is great for a stealth build. If you're going for that one-shot kill, dealing double damage on the first hit of an enemy from sneak attack, on top of the sneak attack modifier already, this is an assassin's dream right here. Crippling deals 30% damage on the next attack after hitting an opponent's limbs. Not so much for an assassin. Demoralizing, small chance to demoralize a target, which is good for an assassin too. If it doesn't kill in that first hit, there's a chance that they might just run away from you screaming. Pretty good, not bad. Not gonna use it because it's not for this build, but yeah, for like a ninja type character, that would have been great. Let's see, there was another legendary enemy out here somewhere too. Plus it let me focus on shipbuilding for once. Awesome, yeah, because there's aren't as many skills that you put into it as there is for guns. Ballistic weapons, if you want like the most wide variety, if you want to experience, I just spat all over my microphone, that was disgusting. If you want to experience the most this game has to offer, choose a melee gun, or not a melee gun build, a ballistic gun build. Perk into the ballistic weapons skill trees, because that's what you're going to get the most legendaries from, and that's where you're going to get the most interesting legendary effects. You also get the most interesting mods, weapon mods on ballistic weapons too. I'm thinking of like the Coachman and Hornet's Nest type stuff, and 1-inch punch. We'll take like a sniper rifle and give it a shotgun spread. They call it a spread, but it doesn't spread that much. It just it gives you multiple projectiles in every shot. So having a sniper rifle with a 1-inch punch is absolutely overpowered, because you can do a headshot from downtown with a sniper rifle, and it'll hit with all 4 projectiles right in their head instead of just you know, a couple. It doesn't spread very much, even though it says it does. Nothing too crazy in there. Each their own, I guess. I have not played Lies of P. You have not played Lies of P? Oh, Lies of P must have. No, Melee's fine. I don't think Melee feels as good as it does in like Skyrim, especially with mods and stuff like that, but it's definitely an improvement over Fallout 4. There are other games that you can play with better better melee in it for sure. Teach their own, I guess. I have not played Lies of P. I think Starfield combat is like stuck in 2009. 2009 I think is a bit harsh. Okay, Starfield combat isn't something like Doom, and I don't think we should expect Doom-like combat in a game like Starfield. Doom is extremely focused arena shooter, and things like Call of Duty and stuff like that is obviously going to have better feeling guns too, because that's where all their research and development goes, is how to make the shooting feel good. For this game, it's much wider. They have to do a lot more. And I think that's where a lot of the wide as an ocean but deep as a puddle complaints come from, is the fact that they do so much that they can only go so far into each one of these game mechanics. That's kind of where I get confused, like exactly what people are talking about, because bigger games obviously are going to have more shallow gameplay mechanics to them, because they have to do a lot more than something like Doom or Devil May Cry, where they can focus on one or two aspects of the combat and really, really refine that, instead of having to worry about how do the laser weapons feel, how do the ballistic weapons feel. We need to add 200 weapons to the game, because that's what's expected of us. So now we have to do that as well, and we also have to make this epic story that is going to take at least 40 hours for someone to get through, and then we have to also have a couple other 100 hours of content if people want to replay the game. We also have to have these building mechanics in, because people expect that. RPG mechanics, because it is an RPG. And like games like Doom and stuff like that, they don't have to worry about that. And then it's just a matter of preference. But like Lies of P is a Souls-like game. And people have preferences on whether or not that's good too. I happen to really like melee in Souls-like games, but I don't want it in my BGS games. I like kind of the loosey-goosey, janky feeling of a BGS game. It gives me more room for interpretation in gameplay, I think. More wiggle room for creativity and stuff like that. And it feels right for a BGS game. If a BGS game came out and it had refined melee combat, like something like a Souls game with like a lock-on mechanic and animation, dedicated animations to where you have to finish the whole thing, and that's how the whole thing is balanced as far as combat goes, is, you know, waiting for certain animations to finish, or knowing how to defeat certain animations, and knowing what animations your player character can get away with at certain times. I probably wouldn't like it as much. I would be disappointed that it didn't feel more like Skyrim. The output is weak for melee. Starfield combat feels too stuck in place and clunky. It's not smooth and fluid. I think it's more smooth and fluid than any other BGS game that's come out. Maybe not melee itself, but as far as the gunplay, they've outdone themselves. Fallout 4 was a huge improvement over Fallout 3, and Starfield, in my opinion, is a huge improvement over Fallout 4 in terms of gunplay. I would never ever expect a BGS game to, like I said, rival something like id or Machine Games or the Call of Duty team for gunplay. But it feels good to me. It feels really good to me as a veteran BGS player.
day, Captain.
That's a lot of ammo here. Yeah, no. So I always pick up ammo because it's free money. I always pick up things based on a weight to value ratio for encumbrance purposes. So ammo is always infinite. That's an infinite value to weight ratio because it doesn't weigh anything. And then I just go sell it for free money at any shop. And I don't really need it anymore because I got that's over 1 million credits, and that's less than it was because I just recently vastly upgraded my ship. But yeah. Oh, you mean ammo that I have completely? Yeah, no, ammo that I have. Yeah, I've been accumulating that. I don't want to have to worry about it. And again, it's free encumbrance wise, so may as well just add it in. Like to see a massive ion cannon for ship battles, and oh, that would be pretty cool. That would be pretty sick. Still have high hopes for ES6. If they can do some sort of Souls-like combat system, that would be cool. I disagree. I don't want to see Souls-like in Elder Scrolls 6. Don't want to see it. Because then I would just play a Souls game. It wouldn't feel any different. BGS is never going to do a Souls-like combat better than From Software or a Souls-like game. It's just not going to do it. A lot of people have done a great job modding that stuff in, and it plays pretty well, but it's still janky compared to just having a built-in system. And I think that BGS has shown that that's not their strength. Doing stuff like that is not their strength. Giving you an open sandbox that's like very free to do a lot of things, but feels kind of loosey-goosey, and oh crap. Let's do this. Pump up the grav drive, and we're gonna jet. We're gonna get out of here. As soon as we can. Hopefully we can survive. This'll. Oh, we've already been here, so we should just be able to land. No. In combat, can't land directly. We have to do the whole grav drive thing. Okay, that was quick enough. Good, good. Melee in Starfield is meant to be, imagine sound-based weapons. That'd be cool. Yeah, Fallout 4 had a lot of different types of weapons, like radiation weapons and things like that. We could do a sound-based weapon. Starfield melee is meant to be from stealth. Well, yeah, that was the priority, I think. You're right, it is gun focused, but pick melee weapon, add stealth abilities and gear. You can still sell all the ammo, keep your cutter, of course. Russo F4 build? Oh, Icarus's Fallout 4 build makes you want to do a heavy gunner build. That was fun. The problem with the heavy gunner build with like the power armor and stuff in Fallout 4 is that especially early game, it's hard because the minigun ammo is extremely limited, especially in the beginning. And the minigun just goes through ammo like nothing. Of course, that modded weapon that he's using, I'm not sure if it uses a different ammo type that's more readily available or not. And you also have mods in Fallout 4 that help you to craft ammo, which you couldn't do in the vanilla game. And then also, of course, the power armor part of it. You need the
hold it.
The fusion cells to be able to.
Suits ready.
Captain, do you require my assistance?
Our suits are ready. And how come you're not wearing that ecliptic suit that I gave you?
I'd be happy to help carry something.
Gotta be better than what you're wearing. There you go.
Is that everything?
I think you'll like that one better. Where's my encumbrance? Encumbrance is weak. Let's offload some stuff here. 3 helmets. Don't need 3 helmets. Sorry, trying to catch up on chat here and also relieving some encumbrance pressure here. All right, let me catch up here. Yeah, stealth melee is probably fun, and I'm sure there's fun to be had with just regular non-stealth combat, melee combat as well. The gunplay, I have no complaints about the gunplay in Starfield. I really have no complaints whatsoever for gunplay. I haven't done any combat melee yet. I haven't really done any stealth melee either, but you know, anything feels good from stealth in a BGS game. The engine's just more suited to that. Definitely need high health. Yeah, the chems help for sure. Make use of the throwables. Yep. Brandy has been doing some solid melee combat with her Tara in the Starfield. Okay, I'm subscribed to her channel. I don't know if she archives her Twitch stuff on YouTube, but that'd be interesting to check out. Yeah, and Magus's playthrough was good too. There's fun to be had. You can craft, yeah, that's one big complaint that I have about the BGS studio is there are certain decisions that they're obviously making for balance. Oh, so he followed me down. Okay, whatever. We'll go kill some Starborn if we have to. I'm not scared. Not scared of fighting them feet on the ground. What was I saying? Oh yeah, BGS has some, oh man, this is a, yeah, here you go. People who don't like carbon copies of settlements. We just did this at the beginning of the stream, of Outposts anyway. We just did one of these at the beginning of the stream. Yeah, so BGS, they make weird decisions. I think that the reason that they don't allow ammo crafting in their game is for balance reasons. They would rather have you using multiple different weapons based on the availability of your ammo. It drives more variability in combat if you're using a lot of different weapons. It also forces you to think about how you're spending your perk points and your skill points, how you're going to spread those over different areas in order to get the most out of the weapons that you have, in order to get the most out of the ammo that you have. Now, once you get to a higher level, you can see by looking at how many rounds I have for this gun that ammo is less of a concern after a certain point. So that point is kind of moot. Starting at that, starting then. Obsidian allowed you to create ammo right out of the gate, which is fine. I kind of prefer it that way, to be honest. It allows you, was that a poison mine? No, okay. It allows you to use the gun that you want to use throughout the entire playthrough for character building. I think it works better. But yeah, one of the biggest complaints I have about the BGS studio, they're not perfect. They make my favorite games, but I'm not gonna defend them thinking that they're perfect and that your complaints about them are completely invalid or anything like that. They're mining one. There are definitely issues, and them adhering to some kind of arbitrary idea of balance in their games is kind of laughable to me. Their games are always completely unbalanced. Look at space combat in this game compared to how easy I'm having, how easy of a time I'm having dispatching much higher level enemies in grounded combat than I am much lower level enemies in space combat. Oh, jeez.
Till next time.
Neither have I. I haven't beaten the game, and I have 120 hours logged, but stopped once Cyberpunk 2.0 came out. No gunplay complaints on Starfield on your end, and stealth is pretty good. Stealth is always going to be good in a BGS game. Starfield missed big with a lot of things. Yeah, there are some obvious misses. But much like Zarek's, I almost completely agreed with Zarek's review. I think Zarek framed and sort of promoted his review of Starfield as a negative review, but it wasn't a negative review. It was a positive review, just because he couldn't stop talking about how much he liked the game, even when he was talking about the criticisms of it. I think missing big on a lot of things, that would cause me not to like the game. I think that they hit on a lot of the things. They're doing a lot of things well that BGS usually does well. They've done enough for me to... I love this game. I actually really love this game. Warts and all. A lot of people will say that they like it. They don't love it. I love the game. I'm all in on it. And it's not fanboyism. I genuinely enjoy playing this game. I have other games that when I feel like playing, I will play. Some of them have objectively better systems than this one does, certain things. This game feels like a BGS game. This feels like the BGS that I fell in love with, minus a few gripes here and there. I also have gripes of, you know, some of my favorite games. I have gripes about Skyrim. I have gripes about Fallout 3. I have gripes about Oblivion. And I would say those three games are probably my favorite BGS games and ones that actually, like, made me a BGS fan. Oblivion, Fallout 3, and Skyrim. Fallout 4, it plays a lot better. Gameplay-wise, they made some huge improvements. Storytelling went down a notch. World building. It's hard to mess up a Fallout game, right?
Really something else.
The setting is very well defined, and as long as you get that dark sense of humor right, it's just more of the story that's already been told. Same with Elder Scrolls and Skyrim. The Elder Scrolls world is a little bit more open-ended with the dragon breaks and stuff like that. You get more freedom of what you can actually do in those games. But for my money, the storytelling in this game went back to the level of Oblivion. And a lot of people like to crap on the storytelling of modern BGS games. But for what it was worth, I thought the Fallout 4 told a good story. It's just... the main quest line was fine. It was at least on par, or maybe just not quite. Well, I would say it was on par with Skyrim. Skyrim is a very linear, very tropey fantasy story with the dragons and things like that, although they explored some cool ideas from the lore and from the world building that had already been established. What I'm talking about is the little stories that you can play through just scattered throughout the world, and I think Skyrim doesn't do that well. Fallout 4 doesn't really do that well. Oblivion, Fallout 3 did that really well. Just exploring the world, finding just some random NPC that 99.9% of players are never going to find, and just be able to play through a charming little side quest. That to me really aids storytelling, and that to me is what I'm talking about when I'm saying I like the writing of a BGS game. It's not so much the main storyline; those are always tropey and trying to explore things kind of out of their depth, like this game was. But yeah, I think this one's on par with Oblivion, which was my first foray into BGS games. For my money, had the best writing out of everything. So, yeah, I don't know. All that was kind of a rant. It was kind of a ramble, but I do genuinely really enjoy non-fanboyism. I genuinely love this game and a lot of things that it does. The things that it misses big on, there are some missed opportunities for sure. There were some big opportunities that they missed. As far as missing big on some things, I don't think there was much here that really pissed me off that they didn't do. I don't think they whiffed on a whole lot for me. That's highly opinion based. For you, that might be completely different. Like for some people, it just the procedural generation on the planets, it didn't do it for them. That was completely unforgivable. It was nasty. For me, it's like I don't mind. I got enough handcrafted stuff that this is end game stuff right here that I'm doing. This is the playthrough is done, right? I've done all New Game Plus runs. I'm level 106. I've pretty much done all the quests and everything. Now it's time to do the repetitive grind of going through these points of interest and trying to find this awesome legendary gear. That's what I'm doing now with this character. At that point, if that doesn't appeal to you, which I'm the type of player that doesn't mind a grind. I play Diablo a lot, and that's kind of all that game is after a certain point, is just grinding for endgame gear, and I love it. And it's the same with this one.
Hello.
But at that point, you don't have to opt into that at all. You can put your 40 hours into the game, which is still a long time compared to other AAA games. You can put your 40 hours into the playthrough, and then you can start a new character. You can continue with this character and just flesh out skill trees and things like that. You can do the end game grind if you want, but if you're not into that, start a new character. Or play another game. To me, there's enough handcrafted stuff in here that, you know, it's at least as much, I feel like, handcrafted stuff as there was in Skyrim. You just have to look harder for it, because I don't think the game is more shallow than Skyrim or any other BGS game. It is wider though, so it does make it feel shallower. Is I think my point on that. Can you steal Starborn ships? I don't think so. That might have been a bug that they fixed, but you get a Starborn ship on New Game Plus anyway. No gunplay complaints for Starfield on your end either. Yeah. Stealth is pretty good. Yep. Oh, but once you do have, I think you can. Yeah. There were some people, I've seen reports of people being able to steal Starborn ships online, but again, in the game, and it's kind of early state in the way it is, I'm not sure you were meant to be able to do that. What's going on with this? Armored transport without any shields? Should I try to... Can't hail them. This is a mystery. Let's go find out what the hell's going on with this guy. Oh, you haven't done New Game Plus with Starfield. Let me catch up on chat here. You guys are talkative today. I love it. Wind hasn't done New Game Plus. Silent Echo hasn't done New Game Plus. You haven't played Starfield since Cyberpunk 2070. Yeah, Cyberpunk is a fantastic game. On an objective level, a lot of the things about Cyberpunk is better than Starfield. I love Cyberpunk too. I've been spending more time in Starfield. Because subjectively, some of the things that I like about it, they just, that's where I want to be right now. But Cyberpunk 2077 is a fantastic game. I think that the gunplay feels better in Starfield than it does in Cyberpunk, but Cyberpunk has done its skill trees much better in terms of breadth of things that you can do and how it feels in Cyberpunk, like melee, throwing weapons. You can do, there's a lot more to do build-wise and gameplay-wise in Cyberpunk 2077 than there is in Starfield. That's just hands down. Easy money. A lot of the stuff that Cyberpunk does gameplay-wise just beats Starfield hands down. The big difference, the big advantage that Starfield has over Cyberpunk, in my opinion, is the open-ended character concept building. It's nowhere close. Starfield has that. If you want to come up with a concept character from, like I was talking about earlier, from the cellular level up, what makes this character tick in his soul of souls, in his personality, his backstory, being open-ended on both before you pick up the character and where he's going afterwards is completely open-ended. yeah, the characters' experiences, all of that stuff. Starfield has Cyberpunk beat on that. Cyberpunk is not your character, it is V, whether you play male V or female V or anywhere in between. Or if you you can play grumpy V or you can play nice V, but it's still all just V. It's the same guy. It's the same personality, always playing the same stories, telling the same stories. You don't get to define that experience in Cyberpunk. I like the loosey-goosey feel of a BGS game, honestly. Love cherry blossom scented Force Flex trash bags. Ooh, nice. A little bit of a non sequitur, but yeah. Some of those scented trash bags do smell pretty good. Starfield build idea: hover sniper. If goes stealth versus combat, don't care. Seems like it could be a really powerful build. Yeah, the hover stuff is awesome. I love the hover stuff in this game. Let's see what's going on here. And it enables a lot of stuff. If you can hover above, and the Coachman, the Hornet's Nest mod on the Coachman, which is like this double-barreled shotgun that you can get, you can put a mod on it that turns all of the pellets into scatter bombs, into cluster bombs. And it does a lot of damage to yourself if you get caught in the blast, but when you shoot the Coachman, it just scatters these bombs all over the place. And if you can hover above and then shoot those cluster bombs from the Coachman from above on your enemies, just like raining fire on them, that's awesome. I want to do a demolitions expert build. There's a lot of stuff you can do with the explosives in this game, stuff that you wouldn't think of normally. So that's one of them. The Coachman on there. The explosive skill in the game seems limited from the outside in. At first you would think heavy weapons, incapacitation, demolitions. So explosives, yeah. So throwing grenades now show a trajectory arc, and explosions have a 25% larger radius. This does not only affect grenades; it also affects anything that explodes. So modified weapons like the Hornet's Nest stuff, weapons that have like I don't remember what it's called, but certain legendary weapons modifiers on ballistic weapons give it explosive ammo. This will apply to that as well, and explosive mines will also apply to this. So you can make these explosives really, really powerful. So you get like all previous bonuses are doubled. You get a 50% larger explosion radius, 50% more damage, and 50% less damage. So if you get caught in your own blast, then you know you're safer that way. But apply these to these really powerful like mines and grenades and stuff, and also things like the Bridger, Negotiator I think is another one, grenade launchers, that applies to all of them. And you get to double dip with whether they're shotgun or heavy weapons or even rifles for some of the grenade launchers. You get to increase your damage on those, and also you can put a landmine on the ground in front of you. I don't think I have one on me right now. I don't have anything thrown, but you can put a landmine down on the ground in front of you and use the gravity wave Starborn ability to launch that landmine in front of you. Let's see, the gravity wave, yep. So this actually, you can throw mines at enemies, turn them into a projectile with that. And that sounds like a really awesome concept to explore. So yeah, it's not as well defined, the character building in this game, as far as like your actual like gameplay build in class. Have I already been here? I think I might have already been here. Wow, this place is... Oh, this is the one with the malfunctioning gravity. Yeah, okay. I've been here in a previous New Game Plus universe, but not on this one. Chip energy weapons permanently deal 5% more damage. Yeah, so the loosey-goosey kind of simulation nature of this engine, of the creation engine, it really allows you to do some wacky stuff in gameplay. And it's not quite as wide open in something like Cyberpunk, so that's another advantage. BGS games are built from the ground up, starting at the simulation level. So a lot of the physics, a lot of the things that are just loose and floating around the world, this is something that only BGS does for the most part. And there are other voxel-based games like Tearaway and things like that that go into this, but those are more physics-based games that are meant as more of a toy than a game. BGS takes these physics simulations and makes a whole role-playing game out of them. And that's something that like not even CDPR is doing with Cyberpunk. Cyberpunk is just full of just static elements in the world that you can't really interact with or use or play with. Whereas in, you know, Elder Scrolls or Fallout or even Starfield, you can kick this stuff around. It's all built from the ground up to just be able to play with this stuff. Get in there. The hell is that dangling off the ground there? Here we go. Woo! Hope you're not getting too much vertigo here. Oh, god damn it! Get in there. Or it kicks back. Why can't I get in? There we go. Rare advanced solstice. Okay, I'll take that. Adrian, where the hell did you come from? Oh. And BGS has always been good about giving you tools in the game to play with the physics and to really explore the physics capabilities of their engine, which really is second to none. I can't think of another game that does just interactive physics better than BGS does. You know, they have their faults. Their engine definitely has its limitations, but you don't get this kind of stuff in other games, especially wide RPGs and stuff like that. Very immersive. Favorite version of Power Armor? Mine is Fallout New Vegas. I like the Fallout 4 Power Armor the best. It's an actual thing other than just being just another piece of armor that you put on. It's like a completely different. It's technically it's a transformation, like vampire lord form or werewolf form in Skyrim. In the engine, it works the same way. So it's a completely different mode of play, and you also get to upgrade it, craft it up, kind of like a hot rod that you've been working on. I love that concept of it. So yeah, Fallout 4 is my favorite power armor. In terms of looks, in terms of design, in terms of what you can do with it, yeah. The only gripe I have about the power armor in can dilate time to get through there, I think. My only gripe about power armor in Fallout 4 is they give it to you way too early. It should be like more of a reward that you unlock for having done something cool, or at least having made it through a certain part of the game. But on the other hand, you have Starfield, which does the opposite, where they hide all the cool stuff behind very restrictive RNG, or in terms of New Game Plus, just the sheer amount of time you have to put in the game. They hide all the cool stuff behind that. I think people would have liked this game better if they put more of the cool stuff up front. Like if they made it easier to get the cool legendary weapons. As it is, they're very stingy with whenever these rare, epic, and legendary weapons pop up. That you rarely ever see one, especially on your first New Game Plus run. And then the anomalous sort of timelines and parallel universes and stuff that you get to experience in a New Game Plus run is also very restrictive in terms of how random it is. I think it's like a 1 in 10 or 1 in 20 chance every time you step through Unity to see something weird happen. And so few people are actually going to go through and do like 2 New Game Plus runs after the first one anyway, that they're not going to see all the crazy anomalous stuff. And that's some of the coolest stuff in the game, in my opinion. And 99.9% of people aren't going to see it. So I kind of see where they were going for with the Fallout 4 armor and giving you that Fallout 4 armor right away. That power armor right away. The power armor in that game is some of the coolest stuff in the game, and they give it to you right up front. They don't hide it. And the Starborn abilities in this game, they don't do as much to carry that awe factor, because they're just shouts, right? We've all done the Skyrim. We've seen this. What the hell? Yeah, the game still has bugs.
Releasing ship from dock. Done.
What was that?
Among the stars.
I don't know. I don't freaking know. All right, well, we're over my window now. We've been doing this for more than 3 hours. God, time really flew by. A good conversation will do for you, I think. Let me see here. You still play Oblivion sometimes? Yeah, the gameplay just doesn't hold up for me. Games like Starborn versus Dragonborn, yeah, they kind of phoned in. Now they can save the Starborn stuff. It is just it's just a copy paste of Dragonborn. I will give you that for sure. I'm not gonna challenge you on that one, but I think that they can save it with more Starborn lore. If we had more that we can sink our teeth into this whole Starborn concept, because right now it's just a mystery. Which is fine having a mystery, but I don't want them to keep it as a mystery. We know about the Dragonborn. There's some really compelling lore there. I really want some compelling answers on what the Starborn stuff is all about. And what the Unity, like, where did it come from, right? And I'm really hoping they don't lean into the mystery. It's like, oh yeah, we were trying to, you know, we wanted this to be like a commentary on religion. It's like, what really is it? Is it something divine, or is it something man-made, or is it something else? No, just tell me what it is and come up with a compelling reason, please. That I will give you. The storytelling is that might be a little lazy, but that's not the story that I'm talking about. I'm talking about all the stories outside of the main storylines, the side stuff, the world building stuff. That's what I think they did a good job with, especially considering it's a new IP and they don't have a huge backlog of lore and world building to dip into like they did with Fallout and Elder Scrolls. Okay, let's do this, and then we'll do this, and then we'll do this, and then we'll do this, and then that. There we go. All right, let's see here. The Wind has 475 hours in Starfield and have never completed the main quest, having fun exploring. Yeah, so that's, if you like the exploration in this game, it's fantastic. There's a ton of it here. If you don't like the exploration in the game, you don't have to do it. The main storyline, the side quests and everything are at least on par with Skyrim, in my opinion. Love trash bags that smell good. Yeah, I know. Why do they smell so good? I mean, I know they're trying to hide stinky trash, right? But they actually really smell good. They smell better than like what you would, like one of the plugins, like the Glade plugin things that you would have, or like any kind of air freshener. They just smell really good. Almost delicious. Starfield is just an okay game, very mid, typical BGS formula, and they copied other games too. Took inspiration from, yeah. Yeah, obviously, I don't have a problem with that. A little bit of Cyberpunk with Neon City. Destiny a little bit, and their own. Yeah, no, I'm okay with that. I don't have any problem with copying from other games. I don't have any problem with that at all, actually. If they do it well, it's still BGS formula. All the BGS games have the same formula. Starfield is just an okay game and very mid. That's all completely opinion. Some people say it's good but not great. The way that this game hits me and the way that I enjoy it, I think Starfield is a great game. I said it. I think it's a great game. I would put it at a 4 out of 5. Absolutely phenomenal game. I love it. I love it. And that is my opinion. And I don't think that makes me stupid or having poor taste. Are there other better games out there? Maybe. But better is another subjective thing that has absolutely everything to do with opinion. Games that I would put objectively better than this game, in some ways, Skyrim with mods, Cyberpunk 2077 if you're only talking about the gameplay aspect of things, and it does go deeper into the main storyline and the character of V and Johnny, but it's very limited scope. That's all you get is the story of V. Starfield goes beyond that. No Man's Sky. No Man's Sky is Starfield if it were just exploration. No Man's Sky does exploration better, but it's not going to give you that full, fully fledged action RPG element with a full like main storyline and everything. Yeah, I said it. I think it's great. Yeah, they copied and pasted a lot of stuff. Doesn't bother me. Still play Oblivion sometimes. I like it. Oblivion had a lot of charm to it, but gameplay wise, I can't do it anymore. And I would put this on par with Oblivion in terms of storytelling, side stories, world building. It doesn't have quite as deep of a lore tank to go down into as Elder Scrolls does. But playing Starfield feels to me like playing Oblivion in a futuristic sci-fi setting. With better gameplay. How is that not great? that's just great. That just is for me. I'm gonna be uber late into the streaming of these games. Oh, when you start replayed Morrowind a few months ago. Yeah, Morrowind was another one. It's like I wanted to like it, but the gameplay just wasn't there anymore. Oh, DB Meech. Been watching you on Greed stream. Also want to see harnessed antimatter. Ooh, that would be cool. Space Foos, yeah. No, yeah, those anomalies were just, yeah, they were just word walls. These are just, it's just the Thum. That's fine. For me, Fallout 4, you get the really early T-45 suit. Make it a your only with joining dark. Okay. I'm piecing together what you're trying to say here. Yeah, so you're saying there should be, like, when you entered the Dark Brotherhood and then when you made to Knight or Paladin, that you should get the upgraded, yeah, the early T45 suit. Yeah, yeah, that's the only complaint I have about it, is there just wasn't enough requirements for it. You get an overpowered piece of equipment right away, which kind of took away from the mystique of the whole power armor thing, but... They also put the coolest thing in the game right up in your face and let you play with it right away. So that's something that Starfield is not doing correctly. Okay. I think that's it for me, guys. Hey, we can disagree about Starfield, right? You may not like it. You may think it's okay. You may think it's mid. I may think it was my favorite release of last year in a 2023. Where there was some phenomenal Game of the Year type games that came out. But we can still be friends. We can still be friends. Silent Echo, I disagree with your assessment of Starfield, but I respect your assessment of Starfield. And I wouldn't have it any other way. And for what it's worth, I do actually enjoy the conversation around, okay, this is why I don't like it so much. And this is why I do like it, and kind of having a back and forth on that. If we can learn to argue in a civil way, the world will be a much better place. We can still be friends, I promise. Thanks for the stream. Yeah, thank you, Win, for showing up. I do appreciate it. The Wind actually has a fantastic Twitch channel. Her link is in the description below. Go leave her a follow, and you'll probably see me at some point as well. Over there in her chat. I do try to make those streams as much as I can. I love a Win stream. She does a lot of Skyrim and Starfield stuff as well. Same with Magus over on Twitch. His stream, his link is in the description below. Mostly Skyrim. He dabbles in Starfield. I say dabble, but he's probably has twice the amount of, well, maybe not quite twice at this point. I'm catching up to him because he plays a lot more Skyrim. He has significantly more hours than even I do in Starfield, but he does mostly play Skyrim, but he does dabble in Starfield. Who else was here? Oh yeah, Boone23 was here earlier. I really like his YouTube channel. He's got some very compelling content, Skyrim content. It's very kind of tactical and strategic, and he does some permadeath. And some other like really tough challenges. And I just like the way that he thinks about the game and talks through it and everything. So if that sounds awesome to you, go check out his channel. It's a very small channel, and I think he's very undersubscribed for the quality of content that he puts out. I think that was everybody who actually does content in the chat. If I've missed you, I'm very sorry. But yes, thank you everybody. It was fun hanging out, and I'll see you next week. Not sure what game I'm playing next week. It probably won't be Starfield. Probably either Cyberpunk, Diablo 4, or Skyrim if I'm feeling like I've had enough of a break from that. Not feeling burnt out on it anymore, if that's the case. All right, that's it for me, guys. See you around. Take care.